Got ignition. 2. We've got smoke. 1. We've got RIP takeoff. We've got RIP takeoff. Welcome to another edition of the Self Luv Show. This is on our new NFL schedule, our new day, Tuesdays. Self Luv Show's going up on a Tuesday. Yes, sir. As always, we've got a topic you might not want to think about. This is like insurance. We all pay auto insurance, homeowners insurance, just in case. Some better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. You know, what would you do if you couldn't get a hold of your favorite brand of beer? Well, for God's sakes, all of the dispensaries were flooded. You have something to keep your mind right? Did you survive? Well, that's what we're here to unpack. How to prepare for natural calamity out there. It's Unpacked on the Self Luv Show. Please take this time to like, share, and subscribe, as we will do. Please. And Chi-Town, you handle your business on your ready, good brother. Yes, sir. Please like, share, subscribe. Let's get them in the building.
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
We are, as they say, tangled in our anchor chain. Our financial systems are decades old. According to some estimates, we cannot track $2.3 trillion in transactions. According to some estimates, we cannot track $2.3 trillion in transactions. According to some estimates, we cannot track $2.3 trillion in transactions.
Please like, share, and subscribe. Self Luv Show starts shortly. I don't know who to smoke. I don't know who to smoke. Stop the blinkies. 600. Y'all didn't get the memo. 600. Thank you. In entering upon this course of instruction, each of you should, so far as possible, lay aside for the time being all previous theories and beliefs. By so doing, you will be saved the trouble of trying all the way through the show to put, quote, new wine into old wineskins, end quote. Luke chapter 5, verse 37. If there's anything as we proceed which you don't understand or agree with, just let it lie passively in your mind until you have enjoyed the entire show. For many statements that would at first arouse antagonism and discussion will be cleared and easily accepted a little farther on. After the show is over, if you wish to return to your old beliefs and ways of living, you are at perfect liberty to do so. But for the time being, be willing to become as a little child. For said the master in spiritual things, quote, except ye become as little children, ye shall in no wise enter into the kingdom of heaven, end quote. Matthew chapter 18, verse 3. If at times
Rest up, my
there
boy.
seems to be repetition, please remember, the Self Love Show is a lesson, not a lecture. I was very, very angry because I was learning about the history of what happened to us, and that's what Roots did to me. It brought a lot of those feelings out of me, and I became very disturbed by it, and I became very angry, and I started to retaliate in school. And it took my mother to come to me and tell me, it's a history, it's something that you should never forget, but you can rise above it and make an impact and make a change and make people aware of the pain that we've endured. But at first I was very disturbed by it, and I retaliated in some ways, violently. We used to go to other pools, and he would take me, and as soon as I get in the pool, they would get out of the pool. You don't forget your heritage, but you move forward in trying to make a better life for everyone, and that you always want to be viewed as a person. Reach back and pull someone with you.
But I saw it like everybody else saw it. It looks like a white people attacking a black man. I thought that, I felt that was the case, what everybody's thinking. But, I don't know the hearts of those men. I have no idea what's in their hearts.
Brother,
I'm wiping it though. I'm gonna wipe it. I'm gonna wipe it. I'm gonna say, hey.
Tori's oldest brother, between us. Tori made me at Beta. And so, he just wanted to say a few words before we let you go here.
Okay.
Be the oldest brother, Bob. Bust his ass on the basketball
Thank you
court.
for gracing us with your appearance, man. Grateful. You expanded our nation beyond belief. It's just a wonderful thing. And we would like to present you with the Self Love Show first annual Ernest Lee Thomas Achievement Award.
Oh man.
It's
Oh,
apropos that you are the first recipient.
And nope, we call it the Raj.
We're gonna call it the Rise.
Oh, I love it. Oh man.
Yeah, so we have it on order. We so it's gonna come here. We're gonna show it to the show, and then myself or Tasia deliver it to you or ship it to you from there.
Thank you, brother.
Man, I thank you guys for inviting me on. Thank you. Great format, very solid. It don't have that low budget movie feel. You know what I'm saying? And we get that a lot in the Black community, for real.
Yeah.
Like people look at us to be fuck ups. They look at us to be low budget. They look at us to be ignorant, stuttering, and use a whole bunch of and all of that. But no, they got the real deal on here. That everybody know who Torian Mills is, baby. They know.
Hey, well, bro,
They so ignorant.
Hey, but this platform's your platform. This platform's my platform. From Inglewood, California to
the
Chicago,
South Shore.
Crazy thing about it.
This platform is
made for you and me.
It's made for you.
The crazy
ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. I was trying to get out the end of the preamble, but go ahead, bro.
No, they're ignorant. That's ignorant. They're ignorant. That's ignorant. They're ignorant. That's ignorant.
And even in this instance, if I could be of service to a 9-year-old girl or a 19-year-old woman or girl who wants to be a woman, is to really remember that self-love is the best way that you can receive love from anybody else. Because
Please like, share, subscribe.
A lot of times we forget that. We look externally for this love. We look externally for this feeling of validation and adoration and approval. And it has to come from within.
Flesh.
This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill. The story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want. You take the red pill. You stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Most people want the blue pill.
Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
I saw it on Fox. They said it on CNN. They said the exact same thing verbatim on MSNBC. Exact same words. It's like they were reading a script. Yes, indeed. We thank everybody for patiently standing by as we shared our link and did our pregame hubbub. So we appreciate that.
To the intelligent.
Appreciate that.
Wisdom, and understanding is what we represent.
So as y'all can see, we moved to a new day. This is in deference to the NFL. We got the Bears going 10-7, anywhere from 10-7 to 13-4, according to Ace. I didn't get Brother Wordsmith's prediction yet, but Self Love Vision. Welcome to the Self Love Show on This Ain't That Network. This is one of your co-hosts, 9 Millie. All praise due to the ancestors, to the Most High, and my beloved Mama Sky. Rest up. So today, we're going to be talking about. A major blizzard overtakes your city. The record-breaking snowfall and wind has damaged the power grid. Also, the roads are impassable, so the supply lines to the Shy have been disrupted out there. It looks like it'll be at least 3 weeks before the grid is operational and before the spring thaw melts away your misery and the roads are clear. Will you survive? Today, we're going to be talking about how to prepare for such natural and manufactured calamities. Natural calamities are a part of life. It's been since the dawn of time. And it's important to be prepared for them. By taking some simple steps, you can help to ensure that you and your loved ones are indeed safe in the event of such disaster. We'll be discussing what are the different types of natural calamities? How can you assess your risk of being affected by a natural calamity out there? What steps should you take to prepare for one? What should you do in the event of one? We'll also be sharing some tips on how to stay safe during these disasters. So whether you live in a hurricane-prone area, a floodplain, a seismic zone, or where you can get a world-class blizzard and high winds, don't think you're safe because you live in the city of Chicago. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to push fear, but you want to be prepared. This show is for you. Sit back, relax, and enjoy another edutaining episode of the Self Love Show. These are lessons, not lectures. We're live and in living color. Today, Tuesday, September 5th, at approximately 6:42 in the Easy. And as always, you cats can be anywhere in this magnanimous universe. But thankfully, we all Scooter chose to be here together. Here together. What down, self-love? What you manifesting today, Brody?
Love, 9. You know me, manifesting love. What you manifesting?
Bro? Same, bro. Pure, unfiltered, unfettered. Some say harsh. Many have said tough, but love just the same, G.
No doubt. No doubt.
So it's been going on in your neck of the United States since we last canoided out there in the shop.
So this past weekend we had the Tucci. Brother Carl Belser had the booze, barbecue, and boogaloo at Illinois Beach Resort. It's outstanding as always. The entertainment was on point. The food was delicious
what was the
and
entertainment?
dynamic. Pardon me?
What was the entertainment, bro?
It was a group from LA, actually. Christine, don't let me butcher that.
Who'd you pick up from the airport?
Yeah, I was getting there. And then it was the Terry Sims band out of Milwaukee. And the closer was the Barcades.
The Barclays or Barcade?
The Barcades.
Oh, I always thought it was the Barclays. Maybe I'm thinking Charles Barkley out there, the chuck wagon. He couldn't get it done.
Yeah, it's one original member still left. And
okay.
The rest of the band, man, was high energy. They can sing. High energy.
That's what's up. That's what's up. All right, man. So what to expect today on the Self Love Show? We always kick it off with the quote of the day, and then our more growth and development video. And we got our tattoo tyranny video where we're gonna show our government and decide if it's, if we like it or if we don't. And then, of course, we always have a dome teaser. We believe your mind is a muscle, and it's an awful thing to let go. Atrophy. Well, they all get trophy. Today's topic is how to prepare for natural calamity. Unpacked. Phone lines are open. That number's 424-900-6945. That number's what?
Troll free.
That's right. Once again, that number's 424-900-6945. That number's what?
Absolutely, positively troll free.
That's right. It's pinned in the chat. Trolls get holes around here.
We'll make you famous.
Yeah, I'll be your Huckleberry. And then we always wrap the show up with my personal favorite part of the whole shebang. Do stick around for that. That's Wordsmith's final words. He's going to summarize it all in a bit of prose off the top of his dome. So that's always fantastic. Announcements. 600, Self. TATN has crossed the threshold. And I tell you what, it's been a grind, bro, but I'm going to say this. I value each and every subscriber.
Absolutely. Y'all know how we do.
Well, it's tough to quantify, bro, because we've had at least 200 subs unsubscribed, due to various whatever. And when you look at how those numbers mathematically or geometrically, because right now it's probably growing like maybe close to 2 subs a day. So it's, you can see some fruits of our labor out there.
No, yeah. It's not just a self-love show. It's TATN.
Yeah, big ups, mouthpiece included.
Yes.
Yes. The drill pill.
Man, yes. TATN and all the work is put in.
Ode to the pros, TATN.
TATN.
But it's nothing without, anyone that checks in and, the content is not for what?
Everybody, that's for sure. A lot of people will be like, what they talking about? You know what they talking about? I don't know what they talking about. But.
Well, if you choose the blue pill, you're probably going to unsubscribe. Just put it that way.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, they type to turn into the agent.
But thanks everybody. So big ups. I want to send a rest in Kappa. Brother Emmett E. Horn from Beta Zeta 58. He's made it to Chapter Invisible, bro.
God bless. Great brother, great spirit.
High achiever, great family man, and
Yes.
condolences to Brother Horn from Greater Beta. Sorry for your loss, and also to your family and everything. But enjoy those golden shores, huh?
Yes, sir. I think he had 3 sons that were newts.
Yeah, absolutely. I know 2. I don't know about 3, but I definitely know of 2. So I have to double check that. But I think you're right. Yeah, I think it is 3. Yeah.
I met, 2.
That's including Emmett?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other one,
Yeah, I think it is 3. Yeah, I think you're right. So rest up, good brother. Rest up. And you guys stop the violence out there.
Absolutely.
Stop the violence. Yeah.
Gotta stop it. We gotta move in one direction so we can be our complete protection against everything, because everybody's against us. So all we got is us. Quicker we figure that out and how to move in that direction.
I agree. Second here. What is the science of self?
Science of self. It's only one. It's only one being. It's one consciousness. And we all have split into separate so-called beings to experience the one. There's one thing about knowing everything. Experience is a different level of knowledge. Can turn information into wisdom. And just as our physical vehicles are made up of trillions of cells, we are all cells of the Creator.
Facts.
One mind. Faking separateness to gain information.
Hey, that was well said. Couldn't have said it better. You guys, I'm going to share. Okay. So you guys, if you know anybody who might be ex-offender or looking for work, the CTA, Chicago Transit Authority out there, they may be able to help. So I did want to share a document with you. And you should be able to just grab that. Can you see that document, Sal?
Yes, sure can.
You should be able to scan it where it says "scammy." What do you call that? A
Barcode?
QR
code.
Yeah,
QR code right here.
Yeah.
I'm using my pointer. You're sharing. Yeah, the QR code.
Yeah, QR code. Yeah.
Yeah. If you hit that QR code, it should take you right to the website or right to that page, particularly.
I tell you what, the barrier to employment, they made it a point to say must be and remain drug free, and then they said including marijuana. You see that? It's a setup. You know what I mean? It's a setup.
Man. So everybody don't smoke, so that would be perfect for someone who doesn't partake in anything, and they got to get out there. So. I mean, it's set for some people, and it's not set for everybody.
If I'm not operating, if I'm not a mechanic or a operator, let me smoke if that's what I choose to do. But it's teacher's own. It says interest in janitorial work. I mean, come on. You want me to do that work and expect me not to have my AirPods in, smoking shit? Not me. Okay. Not me.
Right.
Right. I'm just saying, for instance.
It's understood.
Yeah. But there's an opportunity out there. I do digress, but there is an opportunity for anyone out there who might be in a situation. You guys know the topic. I want to know if anyone out there in the chat has been through any natural disasters or got close, things got shaky. Might even just been driving on the E-way. The blizzard was about to hunker you down and you could have been there for 3 or 4 days. Were you prepared? Are you prepared? If you weren't, why aren't you now? These are the questions. But enough of my yapping. You guys, please like, share, subscribe. I'm going to turn it over to this brother so he can handle his business out here.
Yo, y'all know how the story go. It's the Self Luv Show. And this week, we're unpacking how to prepare for natural calamity. As always, we got a very important video for you to watch. Silverback More Growth and Development platform, which we are building the Self Love Nation off of. But before that, we have the Self Love Show quote of the day. The only way to survive a natural disaster is to be prepared for it. Once again, the only way to survive a natural disaster is to be prepared for it. Silverback More Growth and Development platform. Number 1, repair our nation via reparations. We demand our silver back. Number 2, to connect our breadwinners with our activists. Number 3, show an accurate depiction of African American Chi-Town. 4, to shine a light on positive influence. 5, heal our community one person at a time. 6, to provide an unfiltered platform for our influencers. 7, recycle the black dollar. 8, to provide mentors for the mentorless. 9, to close the gap between us and our pink kinsmen. And number 10, protect our women, children, and men by any and all means necessary.
Absolutely. That's a platform to live by, one would say. So, so y'all know we got how to prepare for natural calamity, Unpacked. Phone lines are open. If you want to text or call in, you can get your voice on here or get your questions, or you can simply use the YouTube comments so we can hear your voice. This is what this show and network is about. We want to hear your voice and get it out there instead of the mainstream. So, but self-love, I guess last week we covered what's Neuralink's end game. I'll tell you what, people are watching it. People are watching it.
Yeah, there was so much information that wow.
But should the layman, blue collar, hardworking person from the city of Chicago care about Neuralink?
Yes, because of the possibilities and what we talked about. It is people that will be connected directly to the internet, which means they can be controlled and go down.
The more you know
Yeah.
then you can be prepared, like the show is about today. Use your discernment so that all those news cycles, all the big mainstream doctors and everybody can't just ram your decision down your throat when they decide to do what Self Love was just suggesting. When they decide to just roll that out for some, benign, helpful reason, so check it out. We do encourage you guys to check that out.
Yes, you'll be blown away by a lot of the information.
Absolutely. All right. You guys like, share, subscribe. Self Love. Did you see there's a video from, and big ups WSB TV News. Okay, fair use. The video kind of went viral. Imminent domination is what I'm calling it. Imminent domination.
I'm not sure. You always come up with a creative name. And I stay, pretty much
all right.
Low key.
Off grid. He says he got no warning. Now they want him to pay for the demolition.
Insult to injury, it was mind-blowing. I was flabbergasted.
New developments at 6, the legal battle and why he fears the city could seize his property before his day in court.
Live, local, late-breaking. This is Channel 2 Action News at 6 p.m. Coverage you can count on.
Good Friday evening. Glad you're with us. Welcome to Channel 2 Action News at 6. I'm Linda Stouffer.
Hi there, I'm Justin Farmer, and here are new developments. The city demolished his home, and now they're trying to foreclose on the land to pay for the $68,000 in demolition costs. The whole time, an Atlanta man says...
You're a homeowner. Listen to this.
On it. Channel 2 consumer investigator Justin Gray has been reporting on problems with the city's code enforcement division for some time. Justin's with us live in Southwest Atlanta.
Not saying I would have got an AR-15.
Yeah, and Justin, I'm standing right now on Lawton Street.
Oh my God!
The paperwork for the demolition of what's now this vacant lot, it was for Lawton Avenue. That's a different place.
Oh my God!
Away. But instead of correcting the mistake, the city is now trying to foreclose on this property to pay for that demo bill.
I'm not going to let the city take this from me. I'm going to fight them tooth and nail.
It's just a lot now. The city demolished the Southwest Atlanta house. But Everett Tripodis was served with a lawsuit from the city of Atlanta saying
they lucky he's not drop dead gorgeous.
When I saw that it came from the city, I was quite excited.
Well, I don't know if any man is drop dead gorgeous, but this is much better than
that they were suing me.
We told you in a Channel 2 Action.
Yeah, I'm saying they're lucky he's not white.
The city sent its notices.
YT
found the house unfit for habitation to wrong addresses. Certified letters were returned to sender. Even the official demolition hearing notice was for Lawton Avenue, zip code 30314.
The hell?
But Tripodis' home is on Lawton Street.
It gets worse.
30310, 1.4 miles away. Our Channel 2 Action News story got the attention of City Council. A review of the city's demolition or in-room process reported to Council in April found that some property owners were unaware their homes were up for demolition. But now, even after those problems were flagged to city leaders, Tripodis got served with this lawsuit. The city alleging that, quote, the property should be sold at public outcry unless one or more of the interested parties tenders the full redemption amount. That amount, with interest, it's now more than $68,000 in demolition costs.
After you air the story, after everyone sees it, instead of them fixing the problem, they double down and do it again. It's like after the slap comes the spit in my face. I'm just frustrated.
And Tripodis had already filed
He's a victim.
lawsuit against the city for
Completely.
The demo. That's been stuck in the Fulton court system, but this foreclosure suit, he only has a few weeks to respond to it. Now, we did reach out to the mayor's office. They tell us they are researching this situation. Reporting live in Southwest Atlanta, Justin Gray, Channel 2 Action News.
Yeah, that's
3 Georgia teens are facing.
All right. So, what are your initial thoughts there, fella?
I mean, it's unmitigated and complete tyranny. Instead of trying to have some reparations for tearing down the structure, that they had no business, they want to double down and sue him.
Where did he say he was when they were destroying his house? At work or something?
I don't, and I got the feeling that he wasn't living there. He owned it.
Yeah, I think that's
that's the feeling I got, that he wasn't living there. Because it was like they were saying abandoned properties, which it wasn't abandoned. It was just nobody living there. He was probably.
Can you imagine coming to the crib?
Oh my God.
No, they're ignorant. That's ignorant. They're ignorant. That's ignorant.
I mean, all his shit was in it. Well, no, like you said, maybe he wasn't living there. It had to be,
Yeah, I don't. The feeling I have is he didn't live there, but still.
I hope that's the case. It's still awful either way, but I pray that that's the case.
Because it's. I mean, you go to work one day and come back and your house is gone.
That's ignorant.
Yeah, I mean, I can't. Hey, it's just flat out ignorant.
No, they're ignorant. That's ignorant. They're ignorant.
It's just flat out ignorant. As far as tyranny, I mean, this guy, he plays the victim well. I hope he has a solid attorney. I'm glad he's gone public, but at this point, I wouldn't even be dealing with the city. I'd have enough evidence from the nonsense letters they've sent me and the proof that they were supposed to have been 4100 East and they were 4100 West. You know, they were supposed to be on Jeffrey Boulevard, but they're on Jeffrey Avenue. You know, I've got all the proof I need.
And they were sending all that stuff to the abandoned property that it was getting returned to sender. It wasn't even sent to him at all. They just completely missed the address.
And it's not the first time apparently this is going on.
Yeah, they are, there's tyranny going on out there.
Yeah. You know, you smell a big rat. You know what I'm saying? You do smell a big rat.
I have an idea about these neighborhoods that they're doing this in.
That's why I said, because some neighborhoods, I'm not saying they get an AR-15 and go down there to City Hall and snap because that's all they got. But I say this, bro. How do you fix it? Here, if I'm in his shoes, let me tell you what I need. I need that house built up to the exact same specs that it was built up. I'll make some changes. Maybe I want this wall knocked down. I'd pay for any overage there. But I want a complete replica of that house made up. I want the lawn done. I want everything cured. And there's some pain and suffering. Don't think.
I want a better house. I want a better house.
I mean, you can't.
And then we can put it in the wash because there's pain and suffering. There's crap, illicit behavior that they did, disrespectful mess that
Well, the whole house is going to be better because it's brand new. But I'm just saying, no, and I need a check. I'm losing money. I could have been renting this house, whatever I was going to be doing with it. You know what I'm saying? Also, I need a check for, pain and suffering, legal fees and everything. So, I mean, in that situation, me looking at that house, I'm just trying to be reasonable here. I'm going to sue for $7.5 million and I'd settle for 2.7.
Okay.
Because he wasn't living there. Now, if I was living there, I'd have the kids and everybody, the cats.
Man,
you know what I mean? Showing up and we got home and I'm destroyed. Yeah, now I want $7 million.
I hear you.
If you think that's fair.
It's in Atlanta, and I don't know about the real estate there. But,
the property
has gotta be.
It's not cheap. Yeah,
it's gotta be something because that was tyranny.
Yeah,
it's worst.
I guess we agree then.
Yeah, man.
Tyranny. All right, you guys, how to prepare for natural calamity out there. Unpacked phone lines are open out there. We gave you guys the dome teaser. Self Love has solved it. He put in our personal chat. He says we had this before. It sounded familiar or something similar. I don't know, but you're right. That was the initial thought I got. But that's more of an opportunity for everybody out there in the chat to matriculate and come up with the answer as well, since we've had this before. So, that's very important. So we'll see. We'll give you the correct answer at the end of the show. Well, we didn't even give you the dome teaser yet. The dome teaser is in the chat, but we'll get there. The dome teaser is in the chat. So let's go ahead and push on. All right, Self, we got some, this, only black on black crime happens. There's not any white on white crime.
No, that's not a thing.
They Self, they say when you go overseas or Europe that they don't sit there. Their news isn't just showing black people at our worst and doing crimes. Do you know that they don't spend 70% of their news? Can you imagine such a world where you cut on the news and then just talking about the low end and such? Not saying it shouldn't be covered, but that's not all the great things that's going on in the city. So
yeah, well, it's propaganda, and this is the vision that they want it to be. And some people play the part, but it's still a minute set.
So when people visit here, they say, man, this news is nothing like what we're getting where we're from.
Right. Of
Crime.
course.
All they're talking about is crime.
Especially Chicago.
Yes. Crime.
Man, it's like Chicago's the worst city in the nation. They just put the spotlight on what happens in Chicago like it's, no part of it is good, no part is, you know how it goes.
Yeah. I mean, in general, just crime. And you don't realize how that's so much. If you're watching that, that's all you got on your mind is crime.
Right. So who wants to go there? And there's nowhere in the world like summertime Chicago.
That's right. That's right. But, there isn't any, pink on pink crime.
Man.
Big ups to News Nation. I have to put a check here because they might ding us. I think they may have dinged us in the past, but let's spin it. I'm not sure if they did, but big ups to News Nation. This is fair use out there. It's called Egg Stream Prank.
Three Georgia teens are facing murder charges tonight after what police say started as a lover's quarrel and an egging prank that ended with shots fired and a victim dead. Now, police say the three teens drove to the victim's house and started throwing eggs. When a 22-year-old man to confront the three, police say one of them grabbed a gun from their car and shot him before driving away. Now all three are in custody and all three are facing murder charges, even though only one of them pulled the trigger. I'm joined now by News Nation law and justice contributor Jennifer Coffendorfer. Jennifer, it's good to see you. Thanks for being here.
It's good to
He's
see you.
ex-CIA and ex-Fed.
Jennifer, let's start with all
they
three.
Don't call it
murder
ex-CIA
charges,
no more.
even though police say only one of the teens pulled that trigger. Help us understand
There's no ex-CIA.
Yeah, let me draw this
They didn't
analogy.
say ex-Fed this
You
time.
go to rob a bank and you get your buddies together and you have one driving the car, you have one standing outside watching.
We don't even know who she is.
And then you have the other one go in and rob, and that one shoots somebody. All three are going to be held responsible for felony murder. That's what happened here. They all conspired to take eggs and throw at this house, and they were all present during that conspiracy when that gun was fired and killed that victim.
Tell us about the importance of intent.
I disagree. I'll get there.
Can the teens claim that they only went to this house to egg it that night?
Correct.
No, they're going to be charged, and under the law, even though it seems like a very broad parameter, that's what the law says.
It's very broad. You spook.
One of your co-conspirators decides to kill somebody when you are doing a felonious assault on a house, you're going to be charged equally.
Egging is not a felonious assault.
Two are charged with murder, the other facing a malice murder.
Well, it could be, but it's not a violent felonious assault, and that's what the law is about.
Charge here. Why do you think that is?
Well, there's no first-degree murder charge because clearly from the evidence we have, they came to throw eggs at this house and just to vandalize.
She's just talking.
When things got heated up, when the individual approached them, they went to the car, drew a gun, and shot and killed. So you can see that it wasn't meant to go to murder him, but rather to egg him. So that's why first degree is not on the table in this instance. As far as the other charge being more of a malicious charge, that's going to be the person that actually shot.
The sheriff's office says the
She
investigation
said a bunch of
is very much
spaghetti.
still active. What else could they be looking for at this point?
Bunch of
They need to
nonsense.
have all the information, say, from their cell phones so they can show this conspiracy. What did they actually plan to do? Why was that gun in that car, Natasha? Were they actually planning on, if he came out, that they would actually get
Somebody's
that
in her ear
information?
telling her how
Because
stupid she
that's what
sounds, and
happened.
she's trying to
They're
clean
going
it
to
up.
be looking for all
It's really
information to tie
ridiculous. I
in
mean, like
what
they
the
had to go
actual
to the car to get
conspiracy
it, so
was
that
agreed to.
shows
And
that
very
there
last
was no
question, any insight
intent
into whether they will be
initially.
tried as minors or adults?
Yeah,
They'll
no,
be
they were leaving,
They're
and he ran
18,
to the car.
so they will be tried as adults, and we'll see, Natasha. What usually happens in a
Wow.
case like this is somebody is going to plea, and they will likely testify against the others.
Interesting. All right, Jennifer Koffendorfer, always appreciate
What do
your
you mean?
time.
What do they
Thanks
have to
for being here.
testify about?
Thank
I
you,
mean,
Natasha.
Thank you for
it sounds
watching.
like the. Oh, stop this, please.
They're
It
gonna
sounds
tell,
like the
they're gonna
guy
tell
who
the truth is what happened.
sounds like they talked already. We went there to egg the house. We were leaving. The guy was mad and came out, and this dude over here shot him. Man, I see why they don't never select my black ass for the jury.
Hey.
I'm not. There's no way I'm charging those drop dead gorgeous people the way they charge the Common, Pookie, and Ray Ray, similar charges in the hood. You know, I'm just saying, if I'm on the jury, whether it's Pookie or Ray Ray or those kids, I'm not charging them the way she's trying to charge them all with felony murder.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out who's the drop dead gorgeous, because that's anti drop dead gorgeous. The anti. Okay.
Well,
man,
I mean,
I get your point, but
yeah,
you know me.
And the bigger the. Okay. I saw where, the football player, Talib, he and his brother, he used to play corner for Denver, Talib, I can't think of his first name, but he and his brother were at a youth football game. His brother was coaching, some words were exchanged. Talib, I think, started by swinging, but somehow his brother, allegedly, he just got convicted for it, upped the gun and killed a man. Upped the gun and killed a man. Now, maybe this has to be a different state because they were in Georgia with King Von. But I'm saying, how can King Von's shooter, right? There's a fight going on, and I shot and killed him. How can he not be charged at all? Maybe it's different laws in the states there, and I got to do some more digging. And the Talib brother, there was a fight. That's what I'm saying about the precedence this is setting.
It was more than one shooter in the Vaughn situation. They didn't really prove that dude actually shot him.
They had to. Whatever. Everybody was shooting with the same guns. Or? I see what you're saying.
Caliber, but
I see what you're saying.
The gun that he had, they couldn't prove that he shot him. So I don't know if it went through.
Because they never found the gun,
or they never found the bullet. If it went all the way to the shell, if it went through him, if it went in and out,
disappear.
They still have to find it if it went all the way through the body and out the body. They never could prove, and he was shot more times than dude shot.
Yeah, but they said that it was self-defense. This is why they didn't charge him. They said he was defending.
You can't defend that. That's asinine that you can defend somebody fighting with hands with a gun. That was
is Georgia. And I was in the chat, and that's their laws. That's how they get down.
That doesn't make any sense. You're not supposed to be able to up the ante to defend yourself. Like,
correct. But, well, we're going to cover that murder, that King Von murder, and get into the behind the scenes in that.
Yeah, because I still don't think he did it.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I still don't think dude did it. So,
well, he's on camera shooting a gun. Unless you think he was shooting blanks or he was just shooting in the air.
That don't mean he shot him. I mean, there's handguns. If you're not an expert with a handgun, it's not as easy as you think. But there were so-called expert people on the scene shooting as well. People that had a lot of experience.
But how can you see somebody shooting at someone with a gun and say you don't think he did it? That'd be one thing to say, I don't think he's the only one who shot him. But to really speculate that you
they
don't think
never
this man
proved
shot King
they,
Von,
they
and it's
never
on the video.
proved that he shot him. They didn't. They don't have any evidence that he shot him. He shot, but they have no evidence that he
The
shot
evidence
him.
is the bullet, and you match the ballistics to the gun that he had.
They don't have ballistics to the gun that he had.
Again, he was never charged because they said he was defending himself. They didn't say we're not charging him because we don't have ballistics and we can't prove he didn't shoot King Von. That's not what the government's saying.
I know that's not what they're saying. I'm telling you what's going on. That's what I'm telling you. Not they have the evidence that somebody else shot him, and it's the easiest way to push it past and let it go. That was a murder. It was a sacrifice. It was not because of a fight.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think he ever denied doing it. I think the shots came after he shot King Von, and there was other people who shot Von. But if I'm a prosecutor, I can see clearly this man is shooting somebody. All I have to do is go to the body and you know, unless they threw away the gun, which they probably did, you know, now you can't prove it. But they didn't come out and say, we're dropping this due to a lack of evidence. They came out and said, we're dropping this due to he was defending himself and standing his ground. That's what I'm telling you.
Yeah, and I'm telling you that's hogwash.
You're saying you don't even think he shot him.
I think he shot at him. I'm not sure if he shot him, but it was through and through. They say that they have no evidence that he shot that dude from the gun or whatever. And I'm sure they don't find the gun. So
the evidence would be like when the cop was standing on George Floyd's neck. That was the evidence that he shot him. If they get you on camera pointing a gun at somebody, that's enough to convict any common pookie, anybody, for murder. If I'm on camera, Self, and they catch me in front of this liquor store, hold it. They catch me in front of this liquor store, and somebody shot, and I'm there aiming a gun, and they don't find it, and I say, well, I don't have a gun. I don't have no gun. You can't prove it. There's no ballistics on me, but they got it on camera. And I'm famous, you know.
And they have evidence of the other people that shot him because those bullets was in him.
Correct. But there was a timeline to how those bullets came out. So what I'm saying is, regardless of other people shooting him, that doesn't mean that I'm absolved just because everybody else shot this man. If I shoot at somebody and other people shoot him, that doesn't mean that I'm innocent. Because the DA is going to say, oh, everybody shot him. Just let him go because
I didn't say anybody was innocent or any of that. I just personally, I don't think he shot him. I think he shot at him. I don't think he shot him. I don't think he's a great shot.
There were cops there.
Yeah, that shot. That's my whole thing. And it was the easiest way to make the case go away to say it's self-defense. And he shot him.
Yeah, well, we're going to cover that. We're going to cover that. Well, I'm not denying the sacrifice part. You know, I have to go back and look at the video again because there's
Tim
reason
has no reason to sacrifice.
Well, you know, but whose team?
Huh? Little Tim or whoever the dude is that they said killed him, self-defense.
Well, unless he's part of it. That's what I'm saying. It could have been a setup to have him standing there, Rondo standing there, the bait, and then we know the laws in our state. Once he starts beating him up, you shoot him, Lil Tim, and you're going to walk away and sell records, and you're not going to get charged. I'm not feeling that Lil Tim didn't shoot him. I'm feeling that other people shot him, but you know, we'll have to break that down. That's a whole nother show, bro. That's a whole nother show. It's going to be a good one too. All right. Yeah, that's white on white crime, which they say never happens. You go out, throw eggs at something. And that's what I wanted to say. So that's fucked up for the guy whose house it was. Somebody's egging your house and you decide to go run at their car.
Yeah.
And dude shot him, or that's fucked up.
Yeah.
You couldn't just pull off. Like, was he going for a gun? Like,
Did he have a gun? I mean, what?
Right. And that's why I brought up Rondo. Can this guy just say, hey, I was defending myself? Yeah, I egged his house, but he wasn't throwing eggs at me. You know what I'm saying? This guy was coming and saying he's going to kill me or something. I don't know. We're living some tripped out times, man, and I pray for the generations after us.
It's right now. They're trying to create demolition man, like where everybody's locked up. You can't even say a cuss word, get demerits, and end up going to prison or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it'll tell you if they'll do them like that. Because usually they get a whole lighter sentence and everything don't get treated the same way according to the law. So
they said you don't know what's in their hearts. Sharuka said 3 generations of men. Y'all so funny. Big up Sharuka. Big ups
She
Ace.
said y'all so funny when we was tripping on the Drop Dead Gorgeous so-called.
Man, she knows they're Drop Dead Gorgeous with a name like Sharuka Israel. Sharuka Israel knows that they're Drop Dead Gorgeous. You know what I mean? Yeah, act like you didn't come up watching Disney and you know what I mean? Watching the cartoons and Thor. That's what that quarterback for the Jaguar looks like. Looks like Thor. You know what I mean? All right. Yeah, let's push on. All right, so there's some pink on pink crime out there. All right. And so we're at the point where we're gonna quench the self-love nation's thirst, but not before. We've got to take a shout out for our sponsors.
Weekends in the morning, 97.1 FM. Weekends in the morning with Weenie in the butt. WQHG 97.1. 97.1. 97.1. In the morning, cool weekends. FM. Weenie. And the Magnetic Monkey 97.1. Cool weekends in the morning. All weekend long. Weenie and the Butt. In the morning. On the radio. FM. Dickie the Punchline Donkey on Cool 97.1. Cool weekend. On the radio. In the morning. FM. Cool. WQHG. Cool weekends. In the morning. On 97.1. 97.1. Weenie in the Butt. 97.1. In the afternoon. In the afternoon. Oh my God. WQHG. Turn it on and rip the knob off. You're listening to the radio. Weenie in the Butt.
Muted.
Big ups to 97.1 out there. Those are our sponsors. We got 600 followers out there. So, they're jumping on board early. So big ups. You guys haven't checked it out, check out the Weenie and the Butt Show. Google it. It's hilarious. All right. You can find videos on YouTube. All right, so let's see here. Enough of these appetizers out there.
Let's quench the self-love nation's thirst.
You could say irritating. All right. Let's go ahead and quench the self-love nation's thirst. I think there's some sort of preview.
Let's see.
Self, we're going to be breaking down, are you prepared out there? Natural disaster, any type of war shortage, are you prepared? How to be prepared? What do you need?
Ooh-wee. I don't have it all together, so it's going to be some great information because I don't even have it all together.
Man, the power went out. I didn't even have no water last meeting.
They're ignorant. That's ignorant.
So we're going to talk about things like, boiling water, having a little bleach around the house that you can, purify water. And we're going to show ways that You know, you'd be able to hold on for you and your family, how much you need for you and one other or two other, three others for, 30 days or so, so everybody can get their money on their feet. And the Ukrainians can send us a bunch of money to help us out. Oh, no. Big ups Ukraine.
Like when we wrote the song F the Police, it's the stuff that we've been through before.
All right, let's get into it. And if you can kill that, please, I appreciate you. All right, let's go ahead and jump into it. Let's jump into it, y'all. This is a topic that kind of opened my eyes onto my personal unpreparedness. So as you guys can see clearly behind me, I got all this shit. Well, not yet, but it's in my mind's eye. So that's the first step. So the dome teaser, as you guys can see, Sharuka already solved it. 3 generations of men, and she's right. So did Self Love. So big ups. She probably only got it because we had it before. Your dome teaser answer was correct. It's not a doom teaser, it's a dome teaser. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into it here, Self. Quick overview. What are some types of grid/supply line calamities that you can think of, either specific to you or even, nationwide?
If the electrical grid goes down because of a storm somewhere, in some ways, a lot of them are connected, and can be knocked out by.
Didn't that happen in San Antonio or Dallas or something a few years ago?
Houston, the whole
where
Texas
Newport.
area. Yeah.
Nate was there. San Antonio.
That's San Antonio, but it also that flood and all that stuff happened in Houston area.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was a big
Derek
hurricane.
West was there, and my ex and my children are there.
Yeah, in San Antonio, I'll get my cam on. Give me a second. Yeah, in San Antonio, that's when, remember they had a chill. It had gotten colder than it had ever been, and everything froze up.
I was in Houston as well, same time. It was largely in Texas.
Yeah. And then it was it got so hot they lost power too. And, it'd be hot in San Antonio, bro.
Texas, period. Them temperatures be up there.
Yeah, and they get humidity too, don't they?
Yeah, but it's not as much humidity as here. But there's like Galveston area, that's like Galveston's an island and it's right off of Texas, and that area is all like tropical. So it's got huge humidity. It's maybe 45 miles maybe from Houston.
But to your point, to the grid could go down due to hacking. It can go down to terrorism. It can go down to
a lot of stuff,
malfunction.
Natural without being
they say a solar flare could trigger
EMP.
The grid. Yeah, EMP, solar flares. The man just decides to cut it off. We had that here in Cali. They call it rolling blackouts. And guess where they were rolling the power off?
You already know that's always been in Chicago.
Yeah, your low income areas. That's where they roll it out first. That's where they unroll it first.
Yeah,
but you're right. It's always been like that.
In Chicago, definitely. They always been on that. It's whole areas that have no business. It should be the brightest in the city.
Well, Chicago was doing it, but California started doing it as a matter of fact. Not that we're doing it and we're not telling nobody and this is just how it is.
Right.
They started doing it saying we don't have enough power. They made it known, and we're going to do rolling blackouts. And it was supposed to be.
And it's because they don't have power. That's hogwash.
Yeah,
it was full of it.
Yeah, and it was supposed to be fair, like Beverly Hills would be out.
Yeah, right.
just hearing Beverly Hills will be out. You know what I mean?
California ain't never doing nothing fair, just like Illinois.
Yeah, well, if you want fair, you know what I mean? The county has a. They don't do a Cook County Fair, do they?
Yeah,
I remember a Cook County Fair. It's big out here at the LA County Fair. They make a big issue out of it.
Yeah, they don't make a big issue.
Oh, I've never been to the Cook County Fair, I tell you.
And they probably don't have one like that.
That's what I'm saying.
They contribute to everybody else's stuff though, more so here than having a big one.
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah, they need a Cook County fair. Hurricanes, tornadoes, blizzard. We had a couple of bad blizzards where, things got pretty dicey.
So it got cold in Texas too, and they power went out.
Yes. Extreme cold.
Man,
yes, extreme heat. Volcanic eruption. I mean, it's an issue. Hawaii, they had it. Those fires.
Shit, Seattle, Washington.
Yeah.
Mount St. Helens.
Yeah. Those brush fires, viruses, plagues, and the biggest earthquake was that fault line running under St. Louis, running right through Illinois. That's where the biggest earthquakes have happened. Forgot the name of that fault, but people act like, you don't have to worry about no earthquakes in the Midwest. Well, you don't have to worry about what you have to worry about. You don't have to worry about any of this, but we're just, giving some pause for cause for some of your basics, so you can at least be able to wipe your bum. You have some toilet paper out there and have some dignity while they're getting supply lines back open. We'll get there. I mean, come on. Can you think of any? Well, we mentioned San Antonio, Hurricane Katrina. It qualifies as a whopper. George Bush didn't like black people.
They still don't. So keep that in mind when you're having some stuff to keep yourself alive, because they're not going to help us.
They didn't call or insinuate that Kanye was crazy until after he made that statement.
Oh yeah, exactly.
When he was talking about
he got off of his handler's hands. You saw the dude that was with him. The dude that was with him was like, "Oh shit, I'm not part of this."
You saw that? He's like, this wasn't in the script. Yeah, he did.
He tried to physically and really look at the camera like, I'm not with this.
Yeah, you're right. He didn't play back and forth with it. He could have, threw a little joke or something.
He's a comedian. He was
right.
Like, shit, I'm trying to get away from this dude. Whoa, did you see that?
Yeah, Kanye said George Bush don't like black people. You know what I'm saying? Right then and there. He said it. I heard him say it, and I was happy he said it.
Yeah.
They want to sit here and say, he's crazy now. Well, he wasn't crazy when he was talking about pushing packs on 103rd, was he, sir? When he was talking about selling poison to the community and things. Not saying that that's been his message, but he's had that.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing is like every time he breaks for
money till it get sky high. Go ahead, my bad.
Yeah, breaking, every time he breaks from the script from his handlers, they disappear him, and then he come back out, more tamed.
Hey, Donnie C said, Donnie C said New Madrid. Did something happen out there?
Not sure.
Big ups, Donnie C. Ukraine would be an example.
Yes, and man-made mess.
I've always said, Self, and I heard these guys at the smoke shop I went to. They're from Africa. They live in America, run businesses, and they said the same thing I said, Self. They were in there talking, and it was a general, I don't know, black man. He looked pretty swole. Said he was gone, like he forgot where he said he was out of state. I think he did fair time because he was on swole. You know what I mean? He was just back. And so he was the customer, and I was in there, and the two owners in there, and they were actually talking about, like, man, they said literally that Ukraine war, they said it'd be like if the United States was at war with California, and then California started getting a bunch of money from Russia. And I said, I told them I've been saying the same thing. It's like we was at war with Texas.
Right.
And so what I said is, if I'm the United States and I wanted to get all the reverse engineer all Russia's technology and get them on board, I create a false flag war with a state like Texas. You know what I'm saying? And then start getting funding from all those communist countries, money and weapons, you know, and you can reverse engineer all the technology. I say that to say that America, wake up. That's what Putin's doing. You've been bamboozled. It's a big money grab, and they're yeah. Go ahead, Self. What's your
Facts?
thoughts?
Well, it's crapulous, you know. There's being a lot of money put into that whole situation because the whole world knew that they had labs doing nefarious things.
Nefarious things.
And creating all kinds of viruses that they have in line to come after.
And they said the Ukrainians was racist.
Well, there's a portion of them that are fascists. They are Nazis.
Yes. There's a
Well,
portion.
not Nazi-ish.
They're all ish, but we don't want to go there.
Yeah. So they are they wear the racism on their uniform. So
yeah, they had them on their tanks
that-
and stuff with a swastika.
Yeah, they're not faking the funk. But Donnie C said that that's the fault line in the Midwest, the New Madrid.
It sure is the New Madrid fault line. It sure is. Thanks, bro. Yep, it sure is. Yeah, that's a whopper, bro. You can't. I'm telling you, man. And then you got the Yosemite or the national park where all that steam's coming up from underground. They
Yeah.
say that thing could blow the whole top off. You know?
Yeah.
But what's the importance of having a plan in place? I mean, that you can think of. So
when chaos is going on all around you, if you can have something that you can focus on and look to, and how to move, so that really is important.
Hold your thought. This is important. Yes, DJ Creeper. Yes. All right. He solved it after
he just joined, probably though.
Yeah, it's not appropriate to come in here and read Sharuka's answer in the chat and then type it in there and try to get some kudos. But we want you to process your own mind, bro. But go ahead, Self. No, but what you're saying is right. Also, it's even like a security blanket, just the thought that I got a plan, so to speak.
Yes.
Kind of like life. We all like to think we got a plan, don't we, Self, as we're going through life? I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna go to college and then I'm gonna this and that, and then that plan. Go ahead.
But like I said before, whenever chaos occurs, you don't have to be focused on the chaos. You can say, hey, the plan. We got the plan. It's in place. Let's implement. Let's work towards that.
You're right, bro. You're right. I didn't even think about that, but that is very important. Not just having the stuff.
Right.
It's the belief in something, like a religion, even. No?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
they say the Bible is basic instructions before leaving Earth.
I don't think that's what that is. Not for my life anyway. I'm just saying that many people have that. And
read the scriptures, use your own discernment, question it, but read it.
Read it. I read it 4 times, but read it. That's why I'm saying for me.
Yeah.
Read it for yourself to see if it's for you. Because it is for people.
Facts. Yeah, so I mean, I agree with that, Self. It can make you and your family get a sense of safety. It can even literally, potentially, actually save you and can at least add comfort, and you can have some bargaining chips as well. We're talking about in these worst case scenarios that can happen. Nobody wants to be caught up like the squirrel who, didn't collect the nuts in the spring. And then all of a sudden the wintertime hit and you're hungry. Why can't B1, that's black first, M1, melanated first, why shouldn't we depend on the government, such as FEMA? It's been created, FEMA's been created out there. And then, of course, there's the private entity itself, like the American Red Cross. You've got these billion-dollar conglomerates set up, trillion in case of FEMA, with the good hearts and the good souls to help the people. No? Yes?
No. If you heard about anything about FEMA in Hawaii, you'll know. And Red Cross and things of such, the donations go more to paying the people that's there than they give aid to anybody.
Self, there was you mentioned Hawaii. Cap TV put up a video. Big ups, Cap TV.
Big ups, Cap TV.
And it was showing the people, Self, while the fire was going on. First of all, the alarm didn't go off. Hold it. When Wifey and I visited Hawaii, there was a Uber driver. He was white. He wasn't pink. I don't know what was in his heart, but it seemed to be, white. And Self, this guy, I didn't know if he was on the MEP. And by MEP, we mean mathematics, Uber. I don't know if he was on the MEP or what, but he talked. It was like a 40-minute ride. Just talk. But I listened, And he went on and on, Self, about how recently, I think it was in 2012 or 14 or something like that, there was a nuclear alarm to go off on the Hawaiian Islands, sent out all the alerts, but it turned out it was a false alarm. It was a mistake. And he said it was a big deal. I said, I hadn't heard of this. Nobody on the mainland really cares about what goes on here. I didn't say that part, but I should have. Nobody black really cares, unless they have family there. But long story short, bro, he said that, heads rolled, people lost jobs. And he said that the infrastructure and all of that was changed and everything was fixed. This is the part that I'm talking about. He said that this had already happened. This is before the fire. And he said that it was a big thing. And the government came out there and assured everybody, like we used to do on the yard. We had an investigative committee and we've investigated and we've rooted out Tory and Mills. We've rooted them out. And right. But and then this happens, and Cap TV video literally shows citizens being blocked from the freeway, which wasn't on fire. It was the quickest and safest pathway. Now, there were some electrical wires, but the police were blocking them, going from both directions to safety. They had to take side roads to get out. But there were some people who were like us at that Common concert when that fight broke out behind us, and we were in the front row. And I was like, we're following the entertainers. And we got up calmly and walked right out. Remember, right behind the entertainers. Ended up in the alley, but it worked out. They were pulling out, and they was looking at us like they thought we was going to be on something. And long story short, there was a few citizens, Self, and then I'll throw it to you, who said F12 and went around those blocks.
Yeah.
And got to safety.
Yeah. That's what they all should have did. Hey, it amazes me that these same people be showing up in different calamities and disasters, but the head of police is the same person that was head of police in Las Vegas when that shooting thing went down. Like, are you serious? Are you serious?
What do you mean? The head of police did the shooting?
No, he was the head of police at that major incident, and now he's the head of police.
Oh, really? In Hawaii?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
You're not saying he's some sort of spook.
I'm saying exactly that, or allegedly. I don't want, that smoke. But
Self, they said they got walls up. You can't even see what's going on. They claiming these properties were down.
But before this, those sirens went off for the littlest of things.
Yes.
They had all those children stay home from school.
Yes.
Man, and didn't let them leave.
So
The water was cut off.
12 was telling people they can't film.
And they can't use the water to put out the fires. The water was cut off.
So you're out there and 12 is telling you can't take the freeway, the E-way, and you videotaping 12 telling you that, and he telling you can't film. Like, it was martial law.
Yeah, because that was all the setup. That's a whole nother show too.
It is. Because if you guys don't believe that was gentrification, like the Chicago fire was what?
Yeah, gentrification.
Gentrification.
Yeah. Also, it was some all over the world. It's a bunch of fires, and it's from technology. It's not from these aren't any wildfires.
No. So a lot of those people, they caught a couple of them in these countries. What I'm saying is they use fire. I'm not saying this was the case here, YouTube, but they do use fire as a tool for gentrification.
Yeah,
A lot of those residents. So that area was immersed in, I don't want to say indigenous people, but people who had been there for generations, and a lot of them were indigenous.
And they weren't going to sell. They've been trying to buy, and there are a bunch of Oprah, Bezos,
and developers. Yeah.
People's like around like that.
Yeah.
Those people.
Black Rock.
I
don't know if we can say Black Rock on here.
Yeah. Well, I don't.
You said it last week.
Yeah. It's more than them too, but
yeah.
Black Rock.
Black Rock. And what's the other one? Something Stone, ain't it? Oh no, that's Black Stone. Black Rock. Yeah.
Yep. And it is another one.
Yeah, I thought so.
Vanguard or something, right?
Vanguard.
Is this Vanguard? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, and it's amazing how there are fires all over, but the rich people's mega mansions, none of them got any issues whatsoever. Not
and
one.
you talked about the sheep. You're right. You got fire all around you, and you got 2 or 3 cops. Hey, listen, we can do this the easy way, you dirty pig.
No, get the fuck out the way. I mean,
no, give him a chance. You know me, Self. I've always given somebody a rational chance.
We just bum rush. I mean, if they're standing their ground or whatever, it's time to bum rush. If it's 100 of us and
it's
4
the
or 5 of
conditioning.
them,
it was only Self. It was only like 1 car here. Ain't nowhere here.
That's what I'm
like.
saying.
What are you gonna do? Right.
We're supposed to bum rush these motherfuckers, and we're not supposed to follow these laws. We're not supposed to. I mean, they're codes and they're not laws. They're codes and bullshit. There's most of them victimless crime.
Mm-hmm.
If there's no victim, then it ain't no law. It's some bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not hurting nobody or doing anything against them, then what are we talking about?
Y'all gonna get in trouble now. He said BR is government funded. It's a spook company. Yeah, no doubt. When I be going back and watching these videos, a lot of this is kind of blurred out naturally. It's nothing we're doing.
Yeah.
I'll be like, man, the internet didn't glitch at that point. But when I go rewatch it, it be glitched out sometimes. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. But I appreciate that than bringing down videos and giving people strikes though.
Yeah. I'm with that too. Whatever.
Right.
It's their platform is not. We don't have no right to say whatever the fuck we want to say.
Hey, and I had just said, bro, I don't know if I wrote it. I probably didn't mention it to you. It was probably on another thread, but I said the sheep will follow the shepherd over a cliff.
Yeah.
Because that shepherd's feeding them and whatever, taking care of them should be, should be. And man, I watched some sort of horror film and I had never seen this depicted. It was like the very next day or the same day. These sheep had literally committed suicide. All the sheep walked over a cliff. I said, son of a bitch. You know what I mean? Ain't that some shit? It's coincidence.
Well, it's one mind, so it's all there. You can attract a lot of stuff just with your thoughts, and then be confirmation like, oh, okay, I'm on the right path.
But Self, the American Red Cross, that's a show in itself. We could talk about how that's not B1's friend. If that's the case, they'll be set up on O Block right now.
They're no one's friend. You don't want them there.
No.
And like I said, the money you donate is for the people to be there, not to give to the people that's there. It's for the people that they sent there and the people that sent them there.
Correct. And we saw how they get down.
Yeah, Google FEMA and against the military and see what comes up video wise.
FEMA's a show in itself.
It's a shit show, for sure.
No, I mean, we can do a show on it. That'd be worth unpacking. FEMA, what is it? Federal Emergency Management Agency. I think that's what it stands for.
It's some crapulous situations.
Now, they talk about the need to stay informed about latest weather forecasts and warnings. I had a discussion with, my better half, and she cuts all these alerts off, and I'm like, you're missing out. You know what I mean? Yeah, they're so distracting. I'm like, but what if it's important? You know what I mean?
But
there is HARP.
That's what I was gonna say. So a lot of this stuff comes out of nowhere.
If they're warning that
it's something above HARP too. It's
but should we not? How do I say? When they're telling you Katrina is coming and you have the ability to leave, should we not have access to that information and leave?
Well, the problem is, DARPA is over HARP now, so HARP is DARPA. But the problem is with meteorologists that they have one of the greatest jobs you could have. They can be like 80% chance of rain tomorrow. It's gonna be they just make the shit up, and it's just they tell you right up front that it's a large percentage that not gonna happen. So, but they do track these storms, but some of these storms come out of nowhere. Those are the ones you have to really look at. That's DARPA HARP.
Creeper said, why Home Depot and Menards not headed over there rebuilding these people's homes in Hawaii? Real simple. This, you bring me to a thought, Creeper. If we are going to accept these corporations and allow them to just rape and pillage society with their profits, which the founders of this country were dead set against, allegedly, then we should demand more from them. And I don't even want I don't want them doing that, so to speak, DJ Creeper. What I want them to do, I need them to pay a flat tax. And if they want to take their corporations to other countries and say we're not going to have these jobs here for Americans, beat it, leave. We'll find corporations that don't mind paying a 10% flat tax. Now, I don't know how the government's going to use the money. That's a whole nother thing. But they got to pay taxes, bro. I'm sorry. The big ones.
Yes. Period.
Europe don't allow that. Europe is taxing the shit out of Google and Facebook and all that.
Come on, man. Like, that's this place. It's supposed to be the land of the free, the home of the slave. That's what, the dichotomy of it. The land of the free, home of the slave.
Because it is the slave's home.
Yes. And most of us are slaves, but there are some so-called free beings, and they are raping,
sexually assaulting.
Yeah, essaying.
Yeah.
RMP.
Yeah.
Of the masses of people here. And it's not just physically, it's mentally and spiritually. They have us not following ourselves and looking outside ourselves for answers to their BS. And you got to be careful anytime someone presents you that there's a problem, and then presents you the
problem. Go ahead.
Presents you the solution.
Well, after the reaction,
yeah,
they're gonna, they need you to react.
Yeah,
emotionally, usually.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Even if they, even without that, but you know how that goes. If they present you the problem and give you the solution, no matter how you react, because there's a lot of us that don't react to that. You know what I mean? We just look at it. Then you know that what it is. Y'all know what this is.
You're right. You're right. That's why we're trying to get people to react to the Neuralink. Y'all watch that show from last week. That's a good point, Self. That's a good point.
You can cut it up a little bit if you can. Y'all know it's halftime, y'all. That's what we be doing, y'all know. We are growing this whole situation, and we need your help. Y'all know what it is. Today we're unpacking how to prepare for a natural calamity. Call in if you have some input. Please, we welcome it. But right now, we have some excellent videos for you to check out. And we'll be right back at you pretty quick. Thank y'all. The Self Love Show. We wordsmith 9 mil. Self Love Show. The Self Love Show. You know how the story go. It's the Self Love Show.
Bam, 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 bam.
Like when we wrote the song F the Police, so stuff that we've been through before and that everybody around us been through. People been going through for years. You know, everybody else was scared to put it on record, so we put it on record. Said it how we want to say it. And everybody's putting us down for doing this song. The FBI was sending us letters and, you know, police was harassing us. Oh, so you the ones that did this song. I ought to beat you a little, you know, stuff like that. It's like banning us from all the venues. And we couldn't even go out on the road for the song and other reasons. They think we was going to, you know, cause a lot of trouble, but it's all bull, you know. Yeah, you could say it was a warning, but just letting other people know what's going on and what could happen.
Were you surprised when the riots broke out?
Not at all. 400 years plus and they can't take no more, you know. And everybody know that the 4 officers were guilty. Everybody's seen that for themselves, and it's like people was fed up. I guess we're speaking for a lot of people out there that haven't spoke yet or afraid to speak.
Shot me, just not my baby, please. The last moments I had with her, she was being bad. I didn't know the nature of the crime at the time. All I know was I gotta get my baby out of here. Then he came behind the store and we saw him. He was like in military clothes. He had like this Marine fit on a bulletproof vest and the biggest gun I have ever seen strapped around his shoulders. And he just sat there, he watched us. He could have killed us all. When there was 3 other women, older women that worked there behind that building with me. Everybody else could jump. I couldn't, I had a baby. So therefore, we begging for our lives, and I failed begging for mine, blocking my baby with my body. And then he was like, if you don't want me to shoot you, run. And then I was scared to go with the policemen afterwards when they actually banged on the apartment door and found me. I was scared to go with them because they had the same gun wrapped around their shoulder. I was like, you look like him.
Africa was full of natural resources. All the diamonds, they came and got it. All the gold, they came and got it. All the niggas, they came and got it. You know what I mean? It's the continent is great of all its resources. I guess the word they call it is colonialism. When they come and colonize your land, educating myself. At one point, I was ignorant and lost, but like you gotta know yourself before you do anything, before you can make a record, before you can have an opinion, you gotta know yourself. So, you know, the same thing going on with rap music, the same thing going on with all of our culture. Whether it's gangbanging, whether it's trapping down south, whether it's hip hop, whatever it is, like, you know, if motherfuckers see it as an asset or as a resource, we don't got no means to go get it. You know what I mean? Other than our little pistols and handguns, we got choppers and all that. These niggas got millions of dollars, institutions set up, like the LAPD, like the feds, like the FBI. All this is their army, and their army make it to where you can inflict your will. So that's what we lack. You know what I mean? We don't have no army that's gonna come protect our natural resources because our shit is divided. You know what I'm saying? We don't even understand how we connected. Because, oh, you a blood, I'm from 60, fuck you, or you from over, I'm from 60, fuck you, or you from A-Train, I'm from 60, fuck you. And that's a fucked up mentality to have.
kind of stuff are they giving you the most trouble about in terms of censorship?
Like waking up. They just have it in their minds that they want to hire somebody, but they don't want any communication made. They want to like make you into something. I don't know. I just think it's part of capitalism is to promote racism. You know, in order to make things work. If you feel better because you're white and you can get a job, you use that. I mean, you know, I would.
Absolutely.
Say, I'm sorry, Jack, but shit, they say I'm white. I'm gonna use this.
Right. Absolutely.
Get this job. I'm hungry. But and that separates people. So they keep people separated, and that keeps them from thinking about the real problem.
How long is it going to take before guys who think like you and people who don't want to have racism in the country really get into positions of power and can change things?
You can't get in a position of power, it seems, if you think like that. It seems that the only time you get in a position of power is if you like the people that are in power. And then they start talking to each other, they find out who's the problem.
Which is?
Greedy people.
Prince?
Oops. There was another video.
It's a show about preparation. You gotta have yourself prepared. Chestnut checkers, fellow.
A lot going on in life.
You gotta be bigger than your excuses, fellow.
No excuse is what it is.
Prince, Michael Jackson. Prince or Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. or Malcolm X?
Malcolm X.
Fred Hampton, JFK.
I'm past.
George W. Bush or Donald J. Trump?
Bush.
Pookie Doe, the habitual criminal, or the one that took the oath and hides behind a badge and works for white supremacy? The Oklahoma Sooners or the Nebraska Cornhuskers? Your whole governorship is resting on this answer.
Oh, that's right, Sooners.
The King of Rock and Roll or Elvis Presley?
Oh, who is the king of rock and roll?
Tutti Frutti. Oh, Rudy.
Yeah, Little Richard.
Yes, y'all. Don't stop.
BS is irrelevant to the intelligent. Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding is what
Self-Love
we
rock
represent.
on.
It's the Self Love Show. The Self Love
And
Show.
we're back.
Self Love Show.
We do it for the people.
Self Love Show. It's the Self Love Show. It's the Self Love Show. To expose they don't equal the Self Love.
Today we are unpacking how to prepare for natural calamity. You know our phone lines are always troll free and they're open.
Numbers pinned in the chat.
And you can get right at us. Come on in, let's talk. How to prepare for a natural calamity and unnatural, some man-made calamities are probably in the works. So, let's get busy, get our minds right, keep them in the right stratosphere. So, if you're prepared and got a plan, you're ahead of the game because many don't.
Thanks. What did my man Donnie C say in the chat? Prepared Mind 101.
Of the utmost importance.
Thanks. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and hop into it. As Self Love has eloquently brought us into it, please like, share, subscribe. If you enjoy this content, click the like button. That'll get us in the algorithm. The more comments we make in the chat, the better, for that same reason. as well. This is uncut shit, hasn't been stepped on, and it's right from the heart, and it's good for the soul. So we're going to get into survival needs. How many days worth of supplies? And these questions aren't just for self-love, they're also for the chat, the Self Love Nation. How many days worth of supplies do you think one should have stored away at minimum? Knowing that it varies depending on what your disaster could be.
It's very subjective. It's like,
yeah,
I've heard from 3 days to 60 days, some preppers that's dealing with conspiracy analyst point of view, to someone that, something like a earthquake is, a hurricane 3 days, but earthquake a couple weeks, maybe they're saying, but like some conspiracy analysts up to 60.
Yeah. I think that's about right. I mean, for me, I'm in an earthquake zone, so to speak. You have to really ask yourself, you look at all those disasters that we've mentioned here in the US, right? You want to try to find a median number or an average number, but like you said, it depends on where you're located. You got to find, and your lifestyle. That has a lot to do about it too. Like guys like you and I, we know how to fast, up to 21 days. Can't go 21 days without fresh water though.
You need some water.
You need some water, and you're gonna want some food too, because you don't want to be going through a disaster out there and fasting.
If you like have a fruit tree or something, if you're in an area where that's possible or probable, that can go a long way. You have a lemon tree or orange tree.
You raise a good point. And then a lot of people give away or throw away a lot of that because that stuff produces in abundance. And when you need to start pickling it and, whatever you do.
Out.
Put it in the jars where it doesn't spoil. What do they call that? Pickle?
Jarring.
Yeah.
And pickling is a separate jarring thing, but
I wouldn't want to pickle everything. I'd be disgusted.
No, and you don't want to jar everything either. So a good healthy, mix between the two could be, and pickling is basically some seasoning.
Yeah, I bet you get hungry enough, you eat all that shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, what happened?
What up, Matt?
Big ups. Matt Stoddard's in the building. Big ups. All right, so the number of days worth of supplies a family should have in the case of natural calamity, it depends on the type of disaster and your location. FEMA recommends having a 72-hour supply of food, water, and other essentials for each person in your household. This is enough time for most people to wait for FEMA to arrive, or the American Red Cross. This is according to FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management
Yeah,
Agency.
I'm gonna have to think of another name for that because it's. I'll get to it.
Dope FEMA. All right. Let's see here. All right. So the 72-hour supply, that's from FEMA. I'd say that's a low end. You got a lot of faith in the government with 72 hours. But this is enough time for most people to wait for help to arrive. However, if you live in an area that is prone to a specific type of disaster, you may need to have more supplies on hand. For example, if you live in a hurricane-prone area, they're suggesting 14 days of waters and supplies. I remember when I moved here, they were telling me after that Northridge earthquake, man, cats was literally living in tents in the park, for weeks, bro. I asked one guy, like, how long did it take before everything felt normal? You're talking a couple years.
Yeah. I mean, when you got to move out of your house and people die from the weather, you know, even if it's, you know, man-made or whatever, it's still traumatic. And trying to adjust and recover goes way, way, way beyond replacing the home, the property, the clothes, all of that part.
Matt say, I'm on mushrooms. He said, drink alcohol, do push-ups. And we're going to add that because FEMA didn't suggest any of these things to have in your supply kit. But I did have a thing man, you know, whatever you need, you know what I'm saying? You better
have it in supply or be able to grow it.
Yeah, but even then, you better have it in supply, man. Whatever you need, you know, it might be some brandy, you know, some scotch, you know what I'm saying? Like, to get your mind right.
You can make all of that. You'll figure it out that if you know,
which brings us to this.
And have to.
Well, that brings me to this. What supplies are required? So if you can throw in general supplies and you can throw in any shenanigans, you know, that you might think, but that brings us to what do you think?
You need food, water,
facts,
fruits, vegetables. I guess that's food, but that's also medicine. Herbs.
Yeah,
are included in the fruit.
Definitely need some herbs. Oh, I didn't even consider. FEMA didn't have herbs on here.
Yeah, FEMA's.
Well, I'm going off with we're paying your taxes.
Never mind.
We're paying your taxes.
Yeah, they're just sucking them up. Hey, and look up FEMA. I'm just saying they are creating concentration camps for you people. It's not for me, but they are for citizens.
Speaking of Menards and Home Depot and all these big box clearinghouse centers.
Yeah, well, they'll collect you and then put you out to the
put you in those. Yeah.
Well, they're not going to hold you there long. You're going to go to a camp.
Yeah.
There are plenty of them. There's people working
basketball
there
camp out there.
Nothing.
Teach you how to ball handle, or was it basketball camp?
Yeah, the FEMA camp.
It's a whole other show. I told you.
FEMA camp.
We got to do a show.
Shake and bake.
All right, but okay. So you got food, water, herbs, all good choices.
Shelter,
food,
safe area.
Well, let's stop here. With food, you're gonna want some canned goods, which means you're gonna want a can opener. We're not talking about the electric can opener, Ray. You're gonna want some jerky. I don't really eat jerky. You know, it's high in salt and all of that. But hey, you know what I mean. They got turkey, and I'm sure
they got a lot of stuff that you can jerky.
You're gonna want some sort of jerky, I mean, I'm telling you can take that edge off.
It's gonna do a lot of plant-based and it's not gonna be if it's a serious calamity, some of that's not gonna be available. But I see you storing it.
Yes, we're talking about preparing it and having it. MREs. I remember your ship, Chill Campbell, used to have those MREs, and we were down in college. They got the peanut butter in them little packets and the graham crackers. Some of those. Remember, you break the packet and had what was it? Stew. I was like, that's stew. I was like, do you heat it up? You can. You don't have to. You don't have to heat it up. I was like eating it cold. Maybe that was college. It wasn't bad. It needed more salt and pepper. I probably would have seasoned it up. But you can get some MRE, Self. I'm being serious here.
No, they have them. There's a lot of prepper sites.
Yes.
There are a lot of people that prep, and they've got enough stuff to live for a year.
Yes.
Or two.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And there are meals that you can get that you just have to add a little water to or whatever, and then it'd be if it's hot water, it'll be a hot meal.
Yeah, Matt knows about meals.
MREs, definitely.
MREs, meals ready to eat.
Yeah, he definitely knows about those.
That's what she said. It's raining in OKC. LeBron is horrible. All right. Yes.
Matt's all over
Maslow's-
the place tonight. He's really
He's feeling
the
good.
house, in the place to be.
Maslow's
Thrones and
higher
medical
or few human needs. What's he mean? Maslow's higher. What's that mean?
Wait a minute, where we at here?
Maslow's higher or few human needs.
Maslow's law. I'm gonna look up Maslow's law.
All right, while you're doing that, so I would suggest some jerky, you guys, some other, all non-perishables. I would get some Ritz crackers, some salt-free saltines. I don't even know if they make such a thing, but they shouldn't call them saltines if you can get them without salt. Granola bars, those types of things would be good to have. I'd even store some chocolate, in my freezer. You wouldn't want to, keep it outside the freezer, but I'd have some chocolate, take that edge off, for you and your family. What do they call that? The trail mix, all those types of things, raisins, to Self Love's point. You're also going to want some sort of first aid kit out there, Self.
Absolutely. But, we want really, in times of disaster like this, you want your food to be your medicine. And so if you can at all make sure that that's the case. But Maslow's law of hierarchy of needs is a theory of psychological explaining human motivation based on the pursuit of different levels of needs.
Yes. Okay. All right. So, I'd suggest, Self saying just use your food to, if somebody's got cut, or something like that.
Herbs and such. But you definitely need some first aid, but there's a lot of that is first aid, is what I'm really saying.
All right. But for the layman who's not a, naturopath or this type of thing, this is like a starter kit, and you can break down what's in your starter kit as well. But I'm not denying what you're saying, but
right.
You're going to want some sort of first aid kit with some bandages, some medications. If you take medicine, you might take medicine for this or that. It might not be a herb. It might be something that you're already taking. Make sure you have some of that. If you got asthma, you want to have some inhalers, whatever you're already doing to maintain yourself medically. Make sure you have that, and cotton balls, some hydrogen peroxide. Some of your basics. You definitely want to have that. Also, you're going to want some flashlight and batteries out there. You're going to need some sort of illumination. It's going to be important if that grid goes down. You're going to need some light.
Absolutely.
I'd have some candles too, and some cigarette lighters and matches.
And like there's a lot of these solar lights that you can put out, and then they can light up inside, put them out during the daytime. You're also going to need some battery powered radio so that you can hear what's going on. If there's a broadcast of sorts that can tell you if the power grid goes down, they're still gonna do
and he's
radio
talking regular radio, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
to your point, they have solar radios and solar
battery powered and radio. Yep, solar.
Now, if you really want to get into it, those satellite phones, that would be good to have.
Walkie-talkies more, because they'll be powered for a while. And if you can figure out some solar power source where you can recharge all of your, needs.
Well, they have those.
Yes. So you need that.
They have those. If you have your phone charger, they have the chargers that you can charge using the sun, and then you can charge your devices off of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And in case of EMP situation, a so-called Faraday cage, which could be as simple as a metal garbage can with a nice tight lid.
Hold on, we're gonna let him get back to his tin hat. I want to find out with these EMPs, but before we go there, just because we talked about the radio, Self Love's referring to a battery powered radio, though. It's gonna make it easier on you all the way around.
Battery or solar.
Or solar, yeah.
They have both of them, yeah.
Yeah. But get yourself some batteries. But go ahead, Self. These EMPs. You talking about the solar flares?
Well, it's a man-made solar flare of such, but it's it will knock out all electronic devices. So if it have any electronics in it, then it will be made useless. And there are.
So you're saying you build a tin hat to protect your devices? What were you saying? What's the defense for that?
A Faraday cage.
Of
sorts.
He's a scientist.
And it's, it could be as simple as a metal garbage can with a tight lid.
Mm-hmm.
And it will.
Oh, that's where you put your devices to keep them from being affected by the EMP.
EMP.
Yeah. All right. Well, see, there you go. Go ahead.
So, there are people that the super preppers from our preparation for the show that have rooms full of materials or large Faraday cages.
We were super preppers at Drop Dead Gorgeous Ray School. I'm gonna put a picture behind me. So we were preppy. We used to wear little, polo shirts with the late this and that on it. They weren't, Matt says,
I'll just say this for the facts that Mr. Ray was not Drop Dead Gorgeous.
Creeper says,
academically, maybe. But
well, Creeper said, I do need a generator. Yeah, that's important, Creeper.
Yeah, it needs to be in a Faraday cage because.
All right, listen, fella. All right. Every natural disaster is not going to have an whatever you call it, burst. All right, there, fella. I know you got that in your crawl. You've been listening to those.
Well, no,
preppers, super preppers. We're talking about getting through a,
I understand, but almost all of these are man-made. They're, it's not.
Okay. All right. So get it in a Faraday. Get your generator in Faraday cage. DJ Creeper. They have solar tactical drones. Yeah, solar powered drones. You see that? Which means we have to get into this solar as well. The generator.
Hey, that's like the Matrix. Like the machines was all powered on solar, and then they
put
created
the nuclear war to create
they created
the nuclear
weather
cloud
to block out the.
Yeah, it was a storm. It was the nuclear bomb that created the cloud,
the weather,
the mushroom cloud.
Cloud is a weather. And they made the weather to block the sun, and then they started using us as batteries. So the AI, just so y'all know, whatever. But yeah.
All right. So definitely. Now, Tesla, I don't know if he's ever brought it out. He's always talking about Elon Musk, my bad. He's always talking about his Tesla battery. But I know there are generators, or I would say batteries that suck the energy. They can, be an extra power source for you, DJ Creeper. They suck the energy from the sun and store it. And then, it works as a generator. You won't need the gasoline and everything, to power it. So that's something to consider. Some sort of solar powered battery with your solar system. It's going to store energy into this battery. Not so sure if Musk released that yet. Satellite phone. This is what I mentioned earlier. If you can get your hands on a satellite phone, you can get your hands on a satellite phone. I would totally suggest getting a satellite phone, because if you think you're going to pick up your cell phone, that, all the lines of communication may be down. That's what happened here in Cali after the big earthquake. Nobody can get through on their phones.
Yeah. It's all a setup. It is what it is. They treated how they treated. They have been programming us to this point. So you need to look within and see what you need to extend you and your family.
Now, along those lines, I'm also going to suggest some sort of multi-tool.
Absolutely. You need tools. You need the tools of everyday life. You need to be able to do what you need to do in your house, regardless of it's a calamity or not. The regular things, you need to be able to cut some wood. You need to be able to screw some screws. You need to be able to drill. You need to be
sawing.
able to,
Yes.
You need to be able to fix and repair whatever is necessary in your residence to block out the natural of the world. So, your windows, you need to be able to fix them. If your windows bust, you need some wood to be able to just seal that up.
Right. Exactly. You never know what you might need to build or repair. And that's where these tools are going to come in handy. Here's something. So, something we use for every Self Love show. We used to laugh at you about your blue blockers you loved so much in college. The sunglasses. You need sunglasses. They can protect your eyes from the sun's harmful rays, even in the event of a power outage. So that's something to consider. Not just any sunglasses, though. So,
the one that blocks certain frequencies that prevent you from keeping your eyesight. We have been under attack with the lighting that they have been presenting upon us and making in our so-called best interest in these schools or what have you.
Well, Matt said it's a simulation. Go ahead.
Well,
I mean, simulation.
That's 100%.
Yeah, he's on shrooms right now, though. You're not gonna.
Well, that will tell you the truth. I mean, I don't need the shrooms to know that this is a simulation, though. I don't need that. I'm just saying. I don't know.
All right. So, for outside of the Tesla coil, you say we need. Here's one: toilet paper.
Yeah.
Now, yes, you can use leaves. I get it. You can use a diaper if you want. You can use your hand and just wash your hand. I get it, Self.
That's what most of the world does. Toilet paper.
But we don't.
Right.
Your kids don't. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying. And if there is none, then that's what's going to happen. I mean,
there was a run on toilet paper. Let me tell you one thing. These white people do.
I tell you,
these white people, whenever there's any sign of a disaster, they go buy all the toilet paper and the paper towels.
If you have a room full of toilet paper and paper towels, have a room full of it, just like your whole house,
right next to the gasoline.
The whole room. Guess what'll happen?
What?
It's gonna run out. So
but this is assuming. Listen. This thought experiment is not about surviving forever. Everything's gonna run.
60 days.
You said 60 days. You said that the preppers said, right. We're not talking about that. We're not talking about being 10 hat
3 days.
Preppers. We're not talking about being 10 hat preppers here.
3 days.
This is for the general society here. That's
3 days, which is not adequate to me. Is you probably have that already. Most people.
But if your fridge goes out, I'm saying, yes, you're right. I'm saying, about 7 to 14 days, you want to have enough supplies. This is what I'm saying. FEMA said, what did FEMA say?
Yeah, they want you to die.
FEMA said 3 days. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
But
And that's my
but
whole
they said
point.
if you live in certain areas, you need to have up to 14. So I'm going to say anywhere between 7 and 14, whatever the people feel comfortable for themselves.
14 to 30, I think, will be depending on where you live. If further out you live from regular
From the grid,
situation,
yeah.
further out you live, that.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So now, knowing we're not just talking about, the preppers who are preparing for the takeover of America, right? With the uprising, right?
I wasn't talking about those people.
Right. Well, I'm saying you just need enough to wipe your bum for 2 weeks. That's all I'm saying. All of this stuff will run out eventually. Hopefully people will start rebuilding and whatever,
Well, I'm just saying most people got.
All right, so we're gonna agree. You're not gonna have any toilet paper. My family's gonna have some toilet paper. Let me hear what you guys say in the chat. Are you guys gonna get some toilet paper? Now, I will get some paper towels too. I mean, why not? Now, those aren't as necessary as the toilet paper, but
same difference to me. I mean, they could be used for multiple purposes for many things.
You can wipe your bum with those too.
You
can wipe your bum with anything. You can use a t-shirt. Wash it out.
What's those things?
A bidet.
Yeah, bidet where you could just.
You could fashion a bidet. Yeah, have somebody behind you hit the pump where the water comes up. Yeah, but
they're cheap.
14 days, people.
Water.
I'm going to suggest just get 14 days worth of toilet paper for you and your family.
Yeah,
it's not going to be overly expensive.
No.
Don't buy the cheap stuff because things are going to be hard enough. And you can use it for bartering. Some of these things you're going to need to barter. So if everybody you come across is not going to be a prepper.
I mean, I think mainly if you're a normal person, you're going to buy like at least for you and your family a couple of weeks of toilet paper. You're not going to.
Yes.
So
let me tell you something. My grandmother used to have a pantry, and I bet you can speak to your because they came through that depression. They know about this. Their pantry. Remember, the pantry used to be stored with all types of shit, and the big freezer. Like, wow,
big deep freeze.
Yeah, the deep freezer. Yes,
2 of them. Like,
yes,
that's what I'm talking about. Like, yeah.
And
they knew that shit.
They wasn't counting on FEMA. I don't think they had
wasn't
no
FEMA. Hell no, they didn't. And they knew they couldn't count on YT people.
No.
They knew they couldn't. YT people don't really. They're not really down for us.
Yeah, but I mean, even they have to. Some of those preppers you're talking about ain't counting on white people. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And they are YT people.
Correct. You know what I'm saying? So
they know.
So now, here's some other things, Self. We want to get through this list. I know you want to have as much stuff as the preppers, but if you have pets and you don't plan on eating your pets, meaning you consider them like a family member, make sure to include food, water, and any medicine and things like that. Pet treats, pet treats and stuff like that that you can have for them.
Yeah, I'm not.
No,
I don't know about the treats, but you definitely got to have food and substance. And then, really, when it comes down to it, you got to have more than
listen
enough
to
food.
Michael Vick out here. Go ahead.
You got to have more than enough food for your family, because when it comes down to it, if you don't have pet food, they eat human food. So they eat what we eat. So you got to have enough for you. And I don't know how that qualifies for Michael Vick.
And they're very important because they're good for your emotional support.
Yes.
Also, they're extra eyes and ears, dependent.
They
can
hear
alert you.
way
Yes.
more than you. They
Yes.
let you know what's going on.
Yes.
Especially if you have some resources, you need to know, because in times of prolonged times of calamity, people will come if you got resources to try to take them.
We're getting there. But good point on how to be ready. But prolonged, if it's prolonged to your point, you may end up eating the pet food. This is what I'm saying, the importance of it. Better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. You saw it right there on what was that, Self? Good Times. When the lady was making meatloaf out of dog food. Turned out it wasn't. She actually went there and bought the ground chuck.
Yeah.
Some people eat dog food. Let's put it out there.
And cat food, for that matter.
Yes, and cat food. Important documents, Self. You got to have your important documents. Your passport, your identification, your papers, your slave papers, your deed to your home. You got to have your important documents, whatever they might be, your life insurance. You got to have access to your important documents such as passport, birth certificate, and insurance policies. What do you have a problem with that? Just want yours to get ruined? You're going to put them in a Tesla coil?
A problem? I don't have a problem with that, but the other things that have been stated are more important to me. But I understand completely where you're coming from.
Why not have them? You don't want to be.
I mean,
where the papers?
If you have them,
now FEMA gets set up. Now they get set up, and they need to see this and that in order to give you, money and toilet paper because you've been wiping your bum with leaves out of the yard. You know what I'm saying, Self? And now you show them the documents, and boom, now you got rice and stuff like that. You know what I mean, for your family. No,
not through FEMA, but I guess.
All right, I'm just throwing a scenario. I'm just throwing it. How about cash? Do you think cash is important? Have cash on hand, so? We should always have cash on hand. But
credit machines and such are not going to probably not be if there's power outages and grid downs or whatever. So cash of some sort.
Assuming the dollar hasn't collapsed.
Right, of some sort. So, those
gold coins, you can have something, huh? Yeah. Silver coins, something.
Gold and silver, but I don't know how they're going to measure that at that point.
Well, it's the coins. You got the coins. It's already got its value stated on it. Not the bars.
Somewhat, but if there's a calamity or whatever, then it's not going to be.
The simplest way is cash, but then if you're talking 14 days, how much cash they expect me to have just sitting somewhere in case of an emergency as opposed to sitting in my bank where I can trust it in my bank and earning 0.00000000001% interest in savings?
Well, I mean, in the bank, you're not saving anything, so might as well have some cash on hand.
Damn good point. Why have this cash protecting the banks and the rich when that cash can be where?
In your pocket. When they're going to deliver out $17 for every dollar you put in the bank, but they don't have that. If everybody tried to go to the bank to get their money, no bank in America would have that amount.
Oh, yeah, they're going to shut those banks down, and they're going to ration how much cash they're going to allow you to take out at the ATM. That's why it's important to decide. Go ahead.
Even if you go in, it's more than just the ATM. They already.
Yes. Yeah, you won't even be able to get in.
Yeah, that's what happened in the Great Depression.
So, how much cash are you thinking?
Depending on the size of your family and how you live
how prepared
normally.
You are.
Yeah, how you live normally in your life. You know what I mean? So, it could.
I mean, it's not like
if you personally have the ability, then maybe $20,000-$25,000.
Damn. I think a stack. Yeah, a stack, maybe two. All right, I'll take it higher. 2 stacks. 2. I'm thinking 3, but if you put 2, if you're prepared and you got all this shit behind me and you're already prepared, 2 stacks should better cover you for, I mean, I'm saying I already got my flour.
If you're prepared and you got all that stuff, you're gonna have more than that. And if you're completely unprepared,
you're going to need a whole lot of cash on hand. If you're going to make a choice, I'm going to be completely unprepared, then you should have a whole lot of cash put to the side for calamity so that you can go out there and pay those price gouging prices that people are going to, because for me to give up something that I put away for my family, I'm gouging. I mean, depending on who you are. But I'm saying I can't sell you that toilet paper roll you need now. I'm charging $20.
Yeah, it's way more than it was. So
yeah,
I mean,
yeah. scarcity, supply and demand. But cash, we can't agree on an amount, but like you said, it just depends. Especially me and wifey, I think 1 or 2 stacks will do it. It's not like we're going out in the street buying pills, every day and stuff like that,
Yeah, we got to figure out what is cash though, because if a calamity happens, this dollar is an issue.
Yeah, that's why I said it.
I'm saying.
Yeah, that's why I said assuming the dollar doesn't collapse.
Yeah.
Contact information. You want a list of important phone numbers, such as your family's contact information, your doctor's contact information, and the contact information for your local emergency management office.
You can't.
Skirt. Your local emergency. So have a list of your phone numbers out there.
Also, you really want, if you can, to have walkie-talkies that are adjustable. I know we talked about it early, but if you got family members across wherever, if you have to relocate because of the problem, you need to be able to contact your people.
Yeah. Some sort of, bleach. Now, this was touch and go because bleach is poison. But in desperate situations, if you have water stored, there's 2 different ways to store it. If you have water stored where it hasn't been opened, then that water can hold up for a good long amount of time. But even then, it's risky, But you might have, access to water. It might be running from your sink, but the power's not on, so it's not being cleaned, et cetera, et cetera. If you have access to it, they say 1 tablespoon per gallon of bleach. You put that in there and you let that sit. You shake it up, whatever, and you let that sit. And that's going to kill everything. Supposedly it's not going to kill you, but that's going to kill everything. And even if you're not drinking it, if you're using that for, bathing, you can treat that water.
Yeah, I think it kills you too. But in times of great disaster, you got to do some things that you normally would not do. And
desperate times calls for desperate measures sometimes.
Yeah. And do what you need to do to survive, even if it's not optimal. It's survivable.
Even if you don't use the bleach for your water, it's a good disinfectant. It's just good to have them around, and you can make, I don't want to say you can make explosives out of it.
I'm not right off the top of the mind, but there are some things that you could use that is
outside
probably
of
not,
bleach.
yes, that's not probably not as accessible to bleach, but if it's part of your normal life, and I'm drawing a blank on them right now. It's some herbs and some tinctures, but at the same time, bleach is if that's what you can get, that's what you need to get.
All right, and we mentioned backup power banks and things of this nature. So, the solar ones are good. You can also go to Amazon or wherever and get some backup power banks and keep those charged up. We mentioned matches, lighters. I would also say charcoal and lighter fluid.
Yeah, those are good. Both can be made by, if you got some access to some wood.
Absolutely.
So if you have that, then you're ahead of the game. But if you can't get that, you can make charcoal, and you can light fires without necessarily having, lighter fluid.
Yeah, you can, but I'm not trying to be Don Quixote out here. I'm just trying to survive for 14 days. Have a grill, and
I'm just saying,
I'm not trying to be Davy Crockett. No, I hear you.
There's a lot of hope when that runs out if you don't have enough on hand.
Yes,
that's all I'm.
No, I got you.
Bringing along with.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, I'm not trying to be. What's his name? I forgot. He's does that survival show. He's all over TV.
Bear or somebody.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be Bear Grylls. I mean, if it comes to that, I'll get there, through God. But no, but this is good information. I appreciate the information.
Adding it all.
Yeah, yeah. And so I was saying, like for, a grill, they say have a hot plate, but you can have a small grill. You might not have access to your stove. It might not be working. So you're going to want to be able to, heat up your soups and your canned goods. You want to be able to cook. If you got a grill, and your meat is going bad, why not cook it and eat it? The stuff you already had in your refrigerator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely the canned food is probably cooked. So it's safe to eat. It might be cold, but
it's safe to eat, but I'm just saying
for preference. But like the food that you already have, you might as well have a smorgasbord.
Yeah. Yes. But I'm just saying,
it's gonna last longer cooked.
So you're not miserable
if it's fresh.
I don't have to be completely miserable.
No.
Understand
I'm
what
just
I'm
saying even the fresh food will last longer if it's cooked.
Yes.
Than if it's not cooked. So it makes sense that, like I said, you figure out how you gonna cook it and cook most of it, and
you could salt some of that meat. I don't know how though.
Yeah, I mean, salting is
once you cook it, you can salt it to preserve it. Again,
you can salt it before though.
But
you have to have the salt. So maybe that's something else we need to add to the.
Yes, FEMA didn't have salt on the list. You're right. I definitely got to learn how to make charcoal, and I definitely got to learn how to salt meats. You know what I mean? Again, my doctor doesn't want me, eating salted meat. I get it.
Yeah, it's the salt that we use here because there is very important salt.
Yeah, I think you use sea salt, and it should be
and Celtic some forms of Celtic salt. This Idolaz salt that we use here it's the third sand. It's a salt, and it's third glass, so it's very, very disruptive to the human vehicle that we use.
I didn't know all that. And speaking of salt, you guys are going to need some ice salt. Couldn't hurt to have it, and everybody I think should have a good shovel.
If you're in a blizzard zone, definitely.
Yeah. But even me, a good shovel. I always had one when I was in Chicago, but they had landslide. You just never, you might have to dig.
Got earthquakes and all of that. So
but you might have to dig and plant a garden.
You're not gonna have a snow shovel though. You're gonna have a pointed spade.
Yes,
it's a different shovel.
Yes, yeah.
So,
like you said, you might start a garden or something. For peace of mind. Keep yourself busy in hopes that things will be up in 14 days. But if they're not, I'm growing these herbs. To your point. You know what I mean? I'm
we all need that anyway, so we know what's being involved and what we consume. So it would be wise for all of us to have some sort of herbs, some sort of vegetables, and some sort of fruits.
Now, go ahead.
Depending on where you live and the various things that you can grow to, edify your health.
Yeah, I agree. Now, your peace of mind is going to be important. Well, at least my peace of mind. So certain things, like for the females, you want to make sure you got some, some tampons or pads or whatever you use. Now, I know Self Love is going to come on here and say what do you call himself? The survivalists? What do they call the long term one, the 60 days guys?
Preppers, but
I'm sure the preppers.
I don't know nothing
cacti
about.
up there,
about those.
Up there, women's legs.
I don't know nothing about that part. Preppers, whatever they do for that part, no.
Yeah, I'm sure they, just go out and get a thistle tree. But I'm just saying, for the most part, I mentioned chocolate. You might want your shenanigans, whatever that might be. You got to be honest with yourself. It might be legalized marijuana. It might be a little bit of booze we talked about earlier, stuff nobody talks about. In Matt's case, it might be some shrooms. You know what I'm saying? And you just put that there. I can't stress this enough, how important keeping your human psychology. They do it in the Army, so You'll be out at war, they'll give you a candy bar. You know what I mean? They give you a candy bar and you're in the middle of Da Nang. You know? So you want to consider the specific needs of your family and your location when creating your survival kit. For example, if you have young children, you may need to consider items such as diapers and formulas. Now, of course, the kid can suck the milk right out the teat. But if you're already got your canned milk baby and you never know how the stress is going to affect the mom, get yourself some milk out there. You know, we don't, here at the Self Luv Show, you know, we feel like the Enfamil and all of those canned milks are not good for the baby. But if that's something you already made a choice, yeah. But if that's something you're already doing, and you might be in a case where you're not producing the milk from the teat, you know, make sure you have that. Make sure you have the Pampers, you know, the baby food and things of that nature. It's going to be very important. Like me, Inglewood isn't necessarily a wildfire area, but I have lived in the San Fernando Valley. There are certain places where you can get caught up. And if you live in these type of areas, and I would say everybody needs a fire extinguisher. I got one behind me right here. Everybody, you got to have a fire extinguisher, but you know, you may want to have a mask too. Now here's where you get your 10 hats off. Like for me, it could be from smoke from that. We saw it on the East Coast, but you know, you may want to have masks in case something's going on out there in the air. Of course, that mask is going to run out, but you got to have some sort of something.
Yeah, man. You got to be as prepared as you can be. Now, I'm a conspiracy analyst, and everything is not a conspiracy. But you really have to look at the area where you live and what is the most likely calamity that can happen. And if you prepare yourself for that, in a lot of ways, I think you'll be prepared for so-called conspiracies.
I agree. Make sure you guys keep the kits up to date. You want to, you know, rotate the food and the water supplies regularly. Meaning, like Self said, the canned goods can pretty much store forever, but couldn't hurt you to every few years. You know,
some of them
eating some of those and replacing
depending
them.
on the brand.
Correct. You know, I would, you know, incorporate them, eat them, and yeah, you know, and replace them. Even the toilet paper and all that kind of stuff, you know, you mess around, have a disaster and you reach in there and that shit turns to dust because it's been sitting down there for so long. So you definitely want to refresh your supplies regularly. You should also practice using your kit so that you know how to use it in the event of an emergency. It's going to be very important. If you got young ones, you know, that's another way you can bond with the little ones too and show them, you know, our family is prepared out there. You know, when we go to class, we got our pens. You know what I'm saying? It's tough there to kick you out of race school showing up talking about the preppers. And if you wasn't wearing a polo shirt with an alligator on it.
You know, I probably still would have showed up with the polo because, you know, my mom, you know.
Yeah, we know we know you had the Cosby Kid lifestyle.
No Cosby. It was, you know, single parent. What do you mean? I had a kid at 5 years old. I walked to preschool at 4 by myself. I mean, you know, no Cosby in that.
Yeah.
But you know, we were born to be better than what our parents were. That's what they all perceived us to be. And that was the idea, the work model. And that's what we were pushed towards. You know, I don't know if we made the mark as such because our parents were some extraordinary people, but we are doing what we were born to do, and hopefully.
Let me push back a little. I'd say our parents wanted us to be safe and happy. Because I think a lot of them chased it. And then when they configured of course, he had to be better. I mean, like you said, that's relative, but that
It
depends on how
really is.
their life was. But I think ultimately, you want the ones behind you to be safe and happy. Is that
Yes.
fair? I mean, you would know better than me.
Yeah, but I want them to expand beyond me as well. That would be ideal, and theirs expand beyond
And
that.
how is that? Is that intellect? Is that knowledge wise, or is that
Spiritually,
money,
intellectually,
finance?
monetary and finance has never ruled me. I live comfortably, and I could, I'm gonna have more. I know that, but that's not a ruler. It's a going back to consciousness. Maybe not all of my offspring, but some of them are going to go back to source all the way.
Yeah, that's why I say safe, happy, and let's say inspired.
Gotcha.
Because that's going to encompass a lot of
all of what I said.
Yeah, exactly. What's in the umbrella. So you want to store your kit in a cool, dry place. You want to label your kit so that if somebody breaks into your storage area, which I know the preppers, you ain't breaking into no prepper storage area.
Oh.
But yeah, they got something for you. But label your kit so you can easily find the items when you need them. Make sure it's easy to carry. So, Self Love now, we've outlined a lot of stuff. But they do have kits, and I'll drop a link to it. But they do have kits that are pre-made, that can get you through like 3-4 days. So that means, you can order 2 per person or 3 or whatever. They're
Mama
not cheap.
Smith has some kits.
Oh, yeah?
Mama Smith already got some kits.
Yeah. See? Yeah, and they got the kits already, and boom, and you have it. So if you got it like that, and it's easy for you to just do that, you might want to go online and check into it. Let's see. But we talked about disaster plan. Just real quick, I'm going to go through some bullet points of what your disaster plan should consist of. A list of important phone numbers, such as your local emergency number, your insurance company, and your family's doctors. A map of your area. You definitely want to have a map with evacuation routes highlighted. That way, if 12 is telling you you can't go this way, you can't go that way, you want to have a map so that if you don't bully past 12, you can make your way through. Also, a designated meeting place for you and your family in the event of an evacuation. That's very important. If the kids are at school and you're at work and somebody else is at home, what's the meeting place?
Facts. That's got to be known.
Naturally, it's home, but then if it can't be home, then where is it? Go ahead.
Stay put. I'm coming to get you. At least with mine.
Yeah, but you can't.
I mean, if
phone lines are down, cell phones ain't working.
If you can meet somewhere, then I can get to you. My thing. I don't know, but you got to have a meeting place. But what I hate about this whole prep thing is the children and putting them in predictive programming can make a lot of this shit happen. And gotta have it, but I hate it having to include them because their thoughts and beliefs, their beliefs.
Do you want your kids to have auto insurance when they drive around?
Yeah, but they're not worried about that. Somebody else take care of that. They just driving. They're not worried about insurance. I never worried about insurance until I had to start paying for it. I knew I had it.
So you're against preparing your kids. I bet the preppers are preparing their kids.
Yeah, I'm not 100% with the preppers. I think they are collectively making an event to happen in this matrix. But, I'm just little
I
different.
mean, I see your point, but it's like teaching
I
a
hate
child
I hate it.
self-defense.
Right. I hate it. Well,
it's
self-defense is a little different than
well, to me, this is nothing more
the
than
same thing.
self-defense.
Right. I got you on that. To me, it's helping create an event. Even a self-defense is, but I'd rather err on the side of that, and I'll err on the side of this too. I just don't like it. If you can understand that, I feel like it's helping create it, but I know that it's necessary. I know I need to teach them, but I don't want to teach them that. But I don't really have a choice. That part.
Yeah, I don't like. Where would you meet? That's the thing. I mean, I would naturally say home, but then obviously, I mean, your point was stay where you are, come get you. Then that's a strategy. If you're at school, stay at school. I'm gonna come get you. That's a strategy.
It's got to be somewhere
but that's
neutral.
assuming that you know where they are at all times. They could be on the school bus between school and going home or whatever. And you know what I'm saying. And there's got to be some sort of training.
I understand that, but do I rely on my children finding it, home? I guess is that makes
that's the whole part about
sense.
preparation. You just said you were had a key at 4 years old.
5, but I was walking to school by myself at 4.
Right. I think kids can do a lot.
They can, and that's absolutely the truth. But they're at school. Do I want them to have to work? They were at home, and that's something that has to be decided on. And then if it's worked in, and you think something's going to happen like that, you get all the way prepared. Like I said, we got a plan and everything's in place.
I would have a
safer.
number of safe houses located within the vicinity. It might be an uncle, it might be a brother, it might be a grandmother, just different safe houses in different areas around them. And this is safe house 1. You go to the closest one, that's always safe house 1. And I'm going to make an assumption that you're at that safe house. If someone's saying, hey, where you need to go, kid, I can take you, it might be a teacher or something like that, another parent, take me over here to safe house 1. That's the only thing I could think, because this one, it perplexed me as to how do you do that? Like, what do I tell my wife? Like, how do I know? You'd have to have multiple meeting places.
Yeah,
how do I know the place we decided to meet at wasn't right under the fault line of the big earthquake? And now what?
Yeah.
So that one I can't. I hear you. It's hard to wrap my mind around.
Yeah, for me, it creates predictive programming when you decide. But I do kind of consider that if you decide a place, then it's probably going to be safe.
And how would you communicate with them? Like when you just said, we'd have to make the assumption those phones aren't working. It has to be something our people would know.
I mean, there are.
I'd have to say home, man. If you can't make it home, there's got to be one other place.
Like I said, we figured that they got these solar walkie-talkies. And
they won't have those on them. They're not going to walk unless you're going to tell me you're going to have your kid with that on them all the time. I mean, you don't even want to talk to your kids about this stuff.
I wouldn't have to if I said, hey, just have this in your bag.
Well, there you go. That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. And make sure, you keep
it's
it
on. Yeah. It's charged. This is
in fact, I'll talk to you on it every once a week or so to make sure. Yeah. I'll test you. You won't get your allowance if I ever reach out to you on this thing and you don't pick it up. All right. So we did that. So one thing you want to do, Self-Love and I are having this conversation, but you want to involve the members of your household in the planning process. Self probably don't want to involve his kids. Me personally, I would. sit down and
I said I would. I don't want to. I don't like it. It's
yeah.
But
yeah. So, and then you also want to review the plan regularly, update it, as needed. And as I mentioned earlier, practice your plan so that everyone knows what to do in the event of a disaster. So I wanted to get into resources. You guys can get information on how to prepare at www.ready.gov. That's www.ready.gov. It's a website created by the U.S. government that provides information on disaster preparedness. They have a section on the disaster survival kits, which does include a checklist of items you may want to consider. You can go to also the Red Cross site, National Preparedness Month, how to build your emergency kit. I'm going to pin that into the chat, and then also your prepackaged kits. I'll pin that into the chat of where you can, just some places where you can pick up your prepackaged kits. So, conclusion though, Self, how do you weigh being prepared versus creating a self-fulfilling prophecy? How do you weigh it?
I weigh it heavy, and got to live at a balance, equilibrium. And that's where I stand with it. Like, I need to expose my people as much as they need to be exposed. And look and see how it's going so that I can be the dealer of the narrative to my people. There are a lot of reasons for such, because I know we've been lied to for much of our lives, indoctrinated the best and the brightest to the elite's prize. But we were born to be different. That's why we're doing this.
Yeah, you were kind of going there. That's the reason why I haven't been like super prepared, because it does almost, seem like, it's a discussion I've had with people about carrying a pistol. You won't need it if you don't got it. You know what I'm saying? You'll figure out a way not to need it. Then if you're sitting in your home and you got the fireplace going and your family's backyard doing s'mores, and then you got some smuck family that feels like they didn't want to prepare for it, talk to each other about it. Now their bellies are hurting. Now they want to come over there with their pistols and try to take, my family's s'mores. That becomes an issue too. So that goes back to you definitely want to, I guess, engage with your neighbors before a disaster.
Well, I mean, ideally, you live in a neighborhood. Okay. That means it's a community. That's ideal.
That's ideal.
Know your neighbors, because they could save you when you're not home. They can see things that's going on that shouldn't be.
Tell them to get prepared, but don't tell them you're prepared.
Well, if you live in a neighborhood like that, then it's gonna be something. Not you're gonna have your own thing, but it's gonna be something that's community based because you're not gonna have them. So you're gonna tell them.
I mean, that's a good point.
To be prepared and have some extra set aside if you're gonna really live in an area like that, because that's the only way you can close yourself into security.
Well, yeah, and you gave me another thought that all of us need to have a network of survivalists. In other words, it's not just you and your family, it's your family's on a list, my family's on a list, Ace's family's on a list. You know what I'm saying? And we're that community at some point, if it gets longer than 60 days, like with the preppers and what you've been saying, at some point there's got to be a way that, hey, if the shit really hits the fan, we got to be able to do XYZ.
Right.
Together.
And we got to depend on us. Period. Melanated one. Because black is dead in law.
Because it's easy to find people in the community to do right and to honor and respect you when you got the guys. You know what I'm saying? When you got your guys. Oh yeah, they cool. Yeah, we won't fuck with them. You know what I'm saying? So you can get some sort of, now how much y'all selling the toilet paper for? Instead of, we're just gonna go in there and kick the door in and take all the toilet paper.
Well, we ain't gonna really talk about or discuss how we're gonna do shit when it hit the fan, because
True.
We move in silence, hopefully with no violence, but we're not above or beyond that.
True. So I want to give you the poll question real fast. All right, here we go. Community. So the poll question this week, Self. Can you survive 3 weeks without power, bottled or tapped water, and grocery store access? Meaning you can't order from Amazon or one of these places and they're going to go do the shopping for you and bring you the food. So the options were 100%, meaning 100% I can survive 3 weeks. The other option was I can survive 6 to 9 days. The other option was I can survive 1 to 5 days, which is what FEMA is suggesting in the American Red Cross. And then the other one is I'm somewhat prepared. And then you've got your unsure out there. So before I give you the results, which one tickles your fancy out there?
Well, I may not be prepared like any of these sections say, but 100% I survived.
That's a good way of looking at it. It's actually a great answer. That's a great answer. Can't argue that answer. I looked at the supplies. I tend not to order stuff when it's completely gone. You know what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm. You're gonna be set most likely.
I need some more canned goods and the granolas. I need to get me some jerkies. Need to get me some more toilet paper. I can get some more batteries. And also I'm just gonna get a kit, but I definitely want one of those solar phones. Some things you brought up. I don't have a hand radio. I don't have a hand radio, nor do I have a regular AM FM radio. So I don't have that. 3 weeks, I probably wouldn't need it necessarily, but So my answer is I'm somewhat prepared.
Yeah.
You know, I'm leaning towards your way, but I'd like to be more prepared. Let's just put it that way.
I understand that part.
Yeah.
Me too. I just,
I don't have 3 weeks worth of reefer sitting around.
Oh, hell no.
That's what I'm saying. 3 weeks
part.
worth of beer, no. You know what I mean?
I can't even make no beer in 3 weeks. Not no good beer, I don't think.
That's what I'm saying.
So
I don't have a Tesla coil. What'd you say you need to make? A ratifying garbage can. What'd you call it?
My God.
The Mayfield beacon. I don't know what you called it.
Faraday.
Yeah, the Faraday tin can.
Cage.
Yeah, you
Faraday
need the tin
cage.
Yeah, the Faraday tin cage. But that's a good perspective, and that's how I feel in my heart of hearts, and it's probably why I'm only somewhat prepared.
Yeah.
But then on the other sense, I am prepared because mentally
and
spiritually, God has always, provided a way, pathway.
Walked us through so far.
Yeah, but you don't even like the scriptures.
Such. And that ain't got nothing to do with the scriptures. That ain't got nothing to do with the Bible. Those everything in that book has been written before.
Yeah.
So taking it from there don't matter because they add a whole bunch of shit that don't matter. So mix it all together and makes a mass of shit, even though it's a bunch of diamonds in that shit.
But you don't even like
bunch
a
of
whole
platinum.
mass of shit.
And that ain't got nothing to do with the scriptures.
Why is this coming through? Let me cut that down. All right. Yeah, that was an echo. All right. So all right, you got anything else before on this that you wanted to add before I get to my conclusion? Then we'll get it to you for your final words.
Prepare your mind, body, and soul for everything. If you're the leader of your household, you know what to bring. Leadership. Let them see in you that everything is good. But you better be prepared and make sure you got some extra shit.
Hey, I noticed FEMA and the American Red Cross didn't say have an AR-15 or not Glock 9mm, or I probably should stop saying these weapons on here, but you know what I'm saying? They didn't say store some extra weapons.
They don't care about you.
You know what I'm saying, Self? The bullets, what do you call it?
Ammunition.
Ammunition.
They don't care about you.
They ain't say nothing about that.
FEMA?
Yeah, FEMA could roll up with a Gatling gun and just start shooting them.
I got a question for you.
Uh-huh.
What government institution is for the indigenous America?
Michael Jackson said, all I gotta say is they don't really care about us.
And they unalived him right after, well, not right after that, but not too long, once he owned half of the empire.
You know, he's huge over in Europe.
He's still one of the hugest artists in the world.
Yeah. So I agree with yourself, and I'll just say it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. You can always use it or resell it. Natural calamities, they are a threat. The frequency and intensity of these disasters are increasing, and we need to take action to mitigate their effects on us. There are many things we can do to prepare for natural calamity, as we've discussed. We can create disaster survival kits, or you can purchase them. You can stay informed about the latest weather forecasts and develop evacuation plans. Get yourself a map out there. Learn how to read it. The world's flat. We can also support organizations that are working to reduce the impact of natural disasters. By taking these steps, we can help make our communities more resilient, for these things. We can also help to protect our environment and ensure a sustainable future for all. Whether you believe in the greenhouse effect or not, this weather that we're seeing is pretty incredible. I mean, the Atlantic Ocean is like 100 degrees right now. which is great for hurricanes. So if you have any feedback, questions, or suggestions for future episodes, feel free to contact us. You can use the comments, or you can call or text 424-900-6945. That number's what?
Troll free, absolutely, positively troll free. You don't
And it's
want to
been-
see me.
And it's pinned in the chat. I did put the links that we use for resources, and also a link where you can, take a look at some survival kits. Probably the easiest way for most working people. It's a starter kit. They last like 3 days, so I would say get 2 per person. That's what I would do. But we'd love to hear from you and learn more about your thoughts and opinions on this topic. But remember, ask not what the culture can do for you, but what you can do for culture. As always, question everything. The Self Love Show ain't Kansas, Dorothy.
Nope.
Peer down the rabbit hole. Do your own research. Use your own caution and discernment, because sometimes when you stare into the abyss, it stares right back at you. Peace and self-love, honor, and respect. No need to belabor the riddle. These people have solved it. Big ups. September 12. This is a topic your ship, Armani, J Money, suggested. Powernomics.
Oh, yes.
How has it aged? Unpacked.
Oh, yes. I need that in my consciousness. I've not put that in, but Dr. Claude Anderson is a beast. Oh, my. We need to get him on here. Why he's still with us.
He was Nostradamus. You might want to talk to Kramer about it. I think he has some sort of contact with him. Talk to Kramer and see if he can make that happen. And then Sunday, before the Bears game at 10:30 a.m. Central on Mouthpiece Included. We're doing the Bears pregame, Packers week, and black billiards. May not have time for black billiards, but black billiards, sport or nickel slick hustle. So if I wanted to ask you, I wanted to get your take.
Bear down.
Well, what's your prediction? Wins and losses this year? Bears. Your over under is 7.5 is the over under.
I don't.
Now,
right
come
now, I don't know what that's
Come
about.
on.
But hold on. I don't know what that's about, the over under or whatever. But I'm 10, at least 10 wins.
That's what I got,
competing for the division.
That's what I got.
I
10
think
and
we
7.
can win the division. I think we can win the division, though.
We can win the division with 9 and 8. There's going to be some parity in our division this year.
I'm just 10, 11, somewhere right in there.
Yeah. I got it 9 to 10. Assuming, Poles don't make a big move here. Maybe we can get KC's 3-tech or that drop dead gorgeous outside linebacker for San Fran, boy.
You talking about Bosa?
He's a bear. You can say what you want.
He dropped dead gorgeous with his helmet on and all that.
Yeah, with a bear with a bear logo on
uniform. He dropped dead gorgeous with a bear uniform.
Oh, yeah, yes.
Aside from that, no.
Now, if that happens, I'm taking that all the way up to 14-3.
Yeah. We're going with Ace.
Yeah. You talking about his big perk take? He simmered it down a bit. He's got him at 13-4 as the team is now.
Yeah.
It's still a bit big perky, but we'll see if he's.
I mean, it's possible though, because it's all depends on the play on the field. Like we've seen a lot of things go crazy. Like, honestly, they could have won like 7 or 8 games last year that they lost.
Yeah, they could have. Yeah,
it was right there. It was 1-score games, and then they praising Minnesota, and that's what they did.
won
They
all those
won
games
those
because they had more talent,
I'm
which
just
we
saying
have
they
more
won
talent.
those games. I
Which
mean,
we have
whatever
more,
it means. Like,
well, they had more talent, but we have more talent now, which means we should be winning those games. That's what that means.
We shouldn't even be in them games this year. A lot of it, like,
well, it's NFL. Everybody's going to come to play. But yeah, I agree. A lot of those games, at least half of those, you can expect us to win. So easily.
We shouldn't have been the number one pick, but a lot of everything felt like it was supposed to. I mean, what the talented on the field and everything. Lovey, Lovey.
Big ups, Lovey Smith. Big ups.
Fired him.
And Poles knew what he was doing. Hey, Paul said, I'm tearing this thing down to the ground and we're going to take the North and never give it back.
Yeah. And that's what's going to happen. Starting Sunday.
I didn't know Detroit's GM at the helm who's processing. I didn't know he was some sort of color.
Yeah.
And he's put together. Wow. I didn't know he was some sort of color.
He put that coach too, though. That coach is something, bro.
And he's gotten them some talent. He's running that well.
Yeah. I mean,
I always said it ain't rocket science. I know.
Right. When they put us in position, we shine. And it all goes back to one guy. And probably, I think we was in high school, Al Campanis. He said, if you start putting them in management and coaching, there will be nowhere for them.
Well,
ownership, though, he didn't talk about that part, but they're trying to lock that all up. They've locked that all up. It ain't no.
Well, so, you remember we were coaching and we got pushed out of there and there was a whole lot of lies when we were coaching the high school.
Yeah.
So I sat here and Googled last night requirements to be an Illinois high school basketball coach in California. All you got to do is take a ridiculous CPR. You don't have to have a degree and all this bullshit. No. You got to take a ridiculous CPR test and another test on, like basic calisthenics. You can do it right online, and then you can go out there and get you a job. I'm challenging yourself. Take those certifications, and I'm going to do it here. And I want you to go to the shittiest shithole school, and I want to see you and what's his name? B-Funk. Take that program from 0 to a hero because you know you can do it. You know you can. You put that there and get that there and get them doing this and that. It might take you 3 years. Oh, you'd have funk funneling you, those players. You'd have a funnel coming straight from funk. There's something to chew on, as your ship says. Nothing about chew on that.
I will chew on it.
I'm chewing on it here. You can get Hugo to be assistant.
Oh, hell no. Now you ruined it.
Enough of my yapping. I'm going to turn it over for my favorite part of the whole shebang. And that's where this brother to my right breaks everything down in wordsmiths. Final words out there.
Self Luv Show. You know how the story go. We talking about how to prepare for a natural or unnatural calamity. I swear. Because evidence has been put that it's gonna be made. And I ain't even trying to spread no shade. But we all up in the darkness. Cause this country right here is ready to spark this. They want to shut us down. They want to let us know that we're not the greatest round. This whole planet that is sort of flat, it's a globe. Stay intact.
You're ignorant.
Ignorant. And let's take it to an extent that's beyond development. They got us all moving backwards while they stack cash and give what you heard as a vision to the word. They changing gender roles, and I don't know how to expose the transcendence of the magnificent. I don't know how to make up some shit to her.
Is it misgender or Mr. Gender?
I don't comprehend, because I can't even try to extend the verbal onslaught that'll bring your end. I hope it does, because whether you're blood or the cuz, Stones or G's or BDs or Vice Lords or all that, opposing MCs, we all needs to be moving in one direction to succeed this whole situation. We need to feed, because we are all make up the whole situation, the whole Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force. It's us. All we need to do is move in a rhythm that we trust, and we can crush this whole system, because they don't go by the rules that they set. They make up shit in between that you don't even suspect. You might think it may be for family food, and they got a whole lot of things to include. We need to figure out and how to choose the right thing and refuse the wrong. But we have to see what's happening. Look at what they're telling us and slapping us with. Because they use predictive programming. It's all up in your media. Outstanding. All you gotta do is take a look. It's presented to you before they put it in his story book. You gotta remember they are crooked beyond measure, and they do bullshit to us for pleasure. It's time for us to sever from them. So we can't depend on them for no natural calamity. That's like trying to get the truth from Sean Hannity. Alleged.
Fox. You on Fox, man.
Alleged.
You on
I
Fox.
don't want no smoke. But we gotta be on top and have a community like we used to have and move in some unity. You live next door to me, man. You know what? True to the situation. We're gonna help each other out. Whatever you need, man, you got it, no doubt. As long as we're gonna build, we got this skill, and everything we need to do, we're gonna chill. Make sure that everybody live next to you is perfected, man. They got a crew, and it's all us, and we all for you, and we're gonna make sure that we do what we gotta do. So everybody need to bring their skill and bring sure their extra will, because it's the truth and it's the skill. That's how you make community come unity. Come what you got and leave everything you're not. Love, honor, respect. Words.
Words. Wordsmith's fun. Well, we did that. Well done, good brother. Well done. Let's see.
Love, honor, respect. Little rusty.
Yeah, I'll check out Kai Zodiac's channel on YouTube, K-A, and then Zodiac spelled with a K. This one's Man Know Thyself.
Dope music, dope MC. I
Very.
gotta work with him. I'm at to work with him. I gotta holler at him.
Honestly, I don't know.
One of these old days,
You know what that means?
Yeah,
Latin.
Know thyself, y'all.
Thyself.
Bullets, a boomerang,
Yeah, stand your ground.
murder, and suicide.
Yep, an eye for an eye.
Silence is violence.
See something, say something.
He a spook, man. That's a spook.
Absolutely.
Slave kills. Greed plus ego over fear. That's the ingredients of slavery.
Charity plus humility times love, freedom.
Do not answer questions.
Question everything.
Fear is an illusion.
Man, completely, man. It's only love. Vibrated.
Forgiveness is the highest love vibration.
So do something charitable for a so-called enemy and end a beef.
Go down there to Cook County Jail, Division 9. Take them all fresh, Krispy Kremes, Starbucks coffee. Know your enemy. Wise man once told me, well, I actually once said, healthy people heal thy people.
That's what we need to proceed, because hurt people for sure gonna hurt people.
Unfortunately. Free Larry Hoover, man. Free the old man.
Free Jeff Ford.
Man, bro, somebody was like, Ty was like, they can't change nothing in the street. Well, whether or not, still doesn't mean that they should be rotting in jail behind some overblown political bullshit.
Facts.
And who knows? One can dream. But free all the guys, man.
Absolutely, because the prison is slavery.
Do your hoosha, man. Walk on water.
Move mountains.
The whole mountain, bro?
Yeah, man, it's like walking on water. All we need is the faith of a mustard seed. And you know, Self Luv Show got way more than that. And where we going?
Being the one is just like being in love.
600, y'all.
No one can
Going
tell
up.
you you're in love. You just know it.
We don't chase it. It's chasing us.
Balls to bones.
Love yourself.